No, it's my
Hercules.
it's my Hercules by Russell Dagger.
Do you want to whistle?
Yes.
You want to whistle while you work?
This is what a 14-year-old thinks.
Okay, I didn't watch any of the other ones. Oh my god, that's sacrilege.
All right, Kyle. I want to.
Yeah, you have failed her.
Could you grab your?
You gotta learn her up. Learn her good.
Wilson's gonna lose. Wilson boys won soccer championship. Wilson
Oh,
girls
wow.
are gonna lose. They're down 3-0.
Have the green on.
Well, that's the problem.
That's the team. She's not on the boys.
Like, my problem
I
Here,
see.
just tap
I
on your
see.
mic.
She better not be.
Whistle in it.
You know what? I should probably. Since.
Oh, don't you whistle?
Whistle while you work.
Oh.
All right, now you can whistle again. I still can't tell. All right, let's just fucking trace this down real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the problem. It's this giant wire right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a good
Yeah.
whistler.
So that's you.
Yeah,
lost
that's me.
I said we're good.
She's the thought.
All right, so
She's very needy lately,
okay.
aren't
Yeah.
you? Are you a black hole with emotional need?
She was following me around everywhere today.
Oh.
I came out of the bathroom. She's sitting there like.
Oh. How could you leave me?
I'm like,
My dog at home was like that too.
Yeah, we're talking about you.
So when I say tree, he's like, huh? And then I walk upstairs because the treat is going to be for him to lay down.
Oh.
And he's like, oh. And he does it anyway. But then he's like,
Oh.
he knows which one that is. It's not the good job one. It's the we got to go one.
Brown-eyed girl. Hmm.
All right, we can start anytime you want.
Where's the coin?
I think that you should do it.
Why? Why me?
I don't know. With that nice baritone voice.
This is 99, right?
Is it?
And then next week, so we're doing 99.1.
99.1. That's right, so I can be here for 100.
So you can be here for 100.
Right.
I'm also going to be late next week.
Is that the one where we do all Marvel?
Yeah, 99.1, you have to review all Marvel books.
That's...
Oh, crap, I won't be... Well, I'll be late, so I can still... I will review my...
We really should do all
1872.
Marvel if we're gonna do a
I'll
.1.
I'll review 1872, number 4, because that was really good. Did anybody else read that?
Mm-mm.
That series,
1872, not yet. I
that
picked
seri-
it up.
That
I didn't-
series ended very, very well.
Did it? Oh shit.
Well,
I'll read it when I get home then. What the heck? Hall of Heroes, it didn't show up on iTunes again. I get it via iTunes. It didn't show up.
blame
Huh.
Phil.
Actually, you know what, Phil?
But yeah,
actually-
it's 99.
we heard that, and I wonder why. Let's look into that.
But yeah, it's number 99. Saturday Morning Comics. Recorded live.
At One Up Collectibles. Kyle, this is your favorite line.
514 Penn Avenue, West Reading, Pennsylvania, 19611.
You know what? I think we should consider that the intro.
Yeah.
Because we can't do any better than Coin Operated Chris.
No, that's right.
I'm Strike Master Ellis.
I'm the Silver Fox.
Gah!
I'm Toy Master Lee.
And we are here, sans the guy that makes it all work. Except
Yeah.
for Phil. Coin Operated Chris.
The man behind the curtain.
He's down and out
Down and out.
this week, but he'll be back.
Yep.
You know,
Recovering from a hard night of birthday party.
Yes,
He,
yes. Crazy man.
He's in the headlock. He number 2, his arm's gone down, but number 3, it went back up. So we'll see him next week. But Lee,
Ah, yes.
do you have a question for us?
I do. Being that this was the Back to the Future week, meaning Wednesday, day,
Are you so over it?
Oh my god, a day.
I
that
was
happened
over
in
it
a
at like 9
movie
a.m.
Happened in real life.
Well, these things happen. The Cubs may win too. I don't know.
No, they lost. They're out.
Did
Yeah.
they?
Bye-bye.
They got
God.
swept.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to get
Fuck
me to
the
cheer for the
Mets.
Mets.
Fuck the Mets.
Oh.
But anyway.
So, what was one of your time traveling stories that you enjoyed?
Ooh, as far as comics?
Comics, yes.
Oh.
Well, yeah. I mean, no
Yeah.
movies. We don't talk about movies here.
I was gonna say that Halloween Simpsons episode, but okay. Does anybody have one right off the bat? Comes straight to their brain.
Ivar has been amazing. This current run of Ivar has
It's been pretty good. I'm not caught up like you are. but
Okay.
I've definitely read, I guess, halfway through the second arc. So.
And then Days of Future Past. Classically speaking, I would have to say Days of Future Past for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Would be the best. That was what Uncanny 141,
Who was your favorite character in that? Was
142.
it Kitty, obviously, or was it?
Uh,
Did you like?
I would have to say Kitty. Yeah, because she's trapped in both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. She's trapped in her former younger self, so nobody gives her the respect that she's
Right.
gained
Exactly.
through the years of basically hardship. She's
Yes.
one of the few survivors.
And I think, if I remember correctly, she has a much better mastery over her own powers when
Yes,
she's
I
in her
think so,
younger
yeah.
body, because it's the adult mind who's working the body.
Yeah, and also her body's younger too, which probably
Right.
Although I don't think that's explicit. It might be more implicit,
It-
maybe.
yeah, more
maybe I
implicit.
just kind of put that on the page, but
Yeah.
who knows? Claremont, he was very,
Yeah.
you know.
And
thinks
Rachel
about stuff like
Summers kicked ass because she had the power to send her back. So that she was pretty awesome and integral to that storyline as well.
Let's go back. Yeah,
So that's my answer. Days of Future Past.
that's a really good one. I don't know if anybody could top that.
I always come back to Claremont and Byrne. Always come back to Claremont and Byrne for these questions.
Yeah,
90% of the time
something
for me.
about it, and then once, well, I guess Dave Cockrum too.
I was never a fan. I know that's sacrilege. That's comic book sacrilege. I was never a fan of Cockrum.
But like once Claremont kind of went off the X-Men, he wasn't Claremont anymore. You know,
Right.
Like his Fantastic Four run, I would not recommend.
No.
Although I mean, he created Valeria, but
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. Everybody's looking at me now. As far as I can think, the only thing that really came to mind was the most recent, actually pretty recent. So it's not a cheat, but it's nothing in the past really.
Yeah.
Uncanny Avengers with Rick Remender.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the Apocalypse twins, and I just love the way that with Kang sort of developing them and them sort of casting him aside, and then him sort of exacting his revenge through the Uncanny Squad. I just loved that.
And now he's screwing with the
And it was
Inhumans.
so yeah, and that was over 2 books, I think, too. That was the Uncanny X-Force and then Uncanny Avengers, actually.
Right. That's right.
So that was like a 4-year-long story.
It's Remender and those long payoffs.
Yeah, and it month to month, people may not love it. I do, but you really see it, and I really enjoyed that.
Cool.
I have 2, so I'm going to see if Lee takes one of mine.
No, go ahead. I have 3. One of mine was already taken, though.
Jesus, these
was-
guys are
okay.
these guys are blowing us
It
out of
was.
water.
It was.
over here.
I was actually going to go with Days of Future Past.
Mm-hmm.
And well, obviously you took that one, so now I have 2 left, Kyle.
Okay, so
But don't worry. Go ahead. You.
Okay.
No matter what you pick.
Well, here.
well,
I have a spare.
I was hoping for you to narrow it down. to see
Yeah,
if
I
you
was
picked
too.
one of
Go
mine,
ahead.
too.
But I don't think I will.
The first one that came to mind is the one I think you were gonna pick.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Yes.
I was. Yeah, that's the one you were gonna take.
That was my second backup pick.
So my backup pick to that
This guy's
one
a lot
then
of
is
backups.
Future's End.
Damn.
Future's
back
End's
up
a
to
good
the
one.
back up to the back.
Yeah.
So
You gotta have contingencies.
I will
guess.
go very recent. And I will say Future's End.
Okay.
I was a fan of that storyline with sending with Terry going back,
Honestly,
trying to
I
undo what they did.
I don't even know what happened at the end.
Terry died.
Terry died.
Oh,
And now.
And
I thought there was a Batman Beyond book.
Tim is the new Batman Beyond.
oh, okay.
But is he Batman Beyond in the present?
No, he's Batman Beyond 5 years from now.
So they keep showing him on the Teen Titans covers. Like, is that book not paying attention to what happened to? Like, I don't read the Teen Titans anymore, but is that?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
read Teen Titans either.
Okay.
I haven't read it in a while, but
Yeah.
Well,
I feel bad.
again, he is
It's not our team.
he is
Titans.
Batman Beyond 5 years
Fierce
in the future.
future.
Okay.
Right.
So 5 years from now, he becomes.
He goes into the future more.
Oh.
So currently, he is still in present day.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Which is why I normally dislike time travel.
Yes. Wibbly wobbly time.
But if he
Yeah.
fixes everything, potentially we can get Terry back.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that was a good one. Return of Bruce Wayne was my backup.
Okay.
But I was my second pick was actually
I don't think that's me. I'm on vibrate.
that
I'm
was
on
vibrating.
silent.
Was All-Star Western Man Out of Time.
Oh, okay. Yep, that was good.
So
The Return of Bruce Wayne, I like when he was in like the Salem witch era and
Yeah.
he wore like that pilgrim. I saw you have the action figure.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I liked when he was the pirate.
Oh yeah, the pirate issue was good too. That was Grant
and
Morrison,
that got
right?
yeah it was and that got so much flack too.
I liked it. It was one of the things that by Grant Morrison that I actually enjoyed.
Should we mention that of our picks, his was Kyle's was 52 issues or something?
48.
48 issues. Mine was 50 issues, 40 something issues. Lee's, how much?
Return of Bruce Wayne was
Six.
6.
Okay. How
Good.
many was yours?
2.
2. So,
Well,
and you can see
and
the
then
progression
All-Star
through the
Western-
years
All-Star
of
Western
how
was
long it takes
6.
to tell a story.
How about it?
Was 6.
How
I
about
think
it?
All-Star Western was 6. It was 22 to 28. I think.
Oh, I'll start the 52. Yeah, I think it's 28.
Okay.
That
I
probably.
mean-
well, I don't
No,
know if
not 52. The Man Out of Time. I want to say it was issues 22 to 28, but I'm not
Yeah, I can't.
100% on that one.
When
Coiny would know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When you think of what Claremont and Byrne packed into that run, just like when you think about the Fantastic Four and what Lee and Kirby did in like the first 100
I was
issues?
pretty amazing. I know.
When did Kirby leave? Around 100?
Yeah, I forget when I kicked him out.
it was 10 something.
It was. It's incredible. Like it's staggering.
106? I don't know, but it was definitely after 8.5 years or something.
They built
so-
the Marvel Universe in those essentially in those 8 years.
Yeah, and then Claremont built the X-Men universe.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And now
when
look
prior
at
to
it.
him, it was an also ran title. It was bi-monthly and then canceled. for a
They had
while.
canceled it.
So,
Yeah, yeah, and they were doing reprints for a while
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Like I guess, and with comics, you can go to any era. That's what makes, I guess, the genre so great. Where the medium, I guess, so
Yeah.
great that we can do these time
There's
travel
no
things.
budget.
It doesn't cost $100 million.
That's it.
Or I'm
No
sorry,
budget.
200 million.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of books I like that take place in the past, but they're not time travel.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right.
it-
Set in
that's
the
what I'm like.
past, yeah.
Oh, that. No, that's just them. That's just in the past. Well, like that. No, that's just them in the past. Yeah, no, that's just them in the past. So yeah.
Coiny doesn't even know what issues it was.
Coiny.
Of All Star Western.
Yes.
It was the
He
new
took my
52
advice and he's
The
watching.
new 52 version, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, where he got the girlfriend and
Mhm.
driving the convertible and stuff. I swear that's 21 to the end, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Someone Google that.
Google it. Oh wait, that's me. Alright. So should we go to the?
Oh, my friend Joe, who lives like 2 blocks down from me, he texted me earlier just as we were starting the podcast, and he said, "Who's got the Doberman?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, we have another listener for the show." They were outside looking in. He said we weren't sure if you were recording or not. We would have tapped on the window. Oh well. damn
Man
it.
Out of Time.
Creepers.
I want to say it's issues
I thought I'd
22
gotten us
to
another viewer.
28, but I'm not 100% on that. I'm waiting for Coiny to answer.
Come on,
What
Coiny.
his answer is?
What are you recovering or something?
Yeah.
What a jerk. You know, you can't trust a motherfucker like that.
22 to 28.
Booyah!
I said,
Look
what,
at you.
21? So,
Look
yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
I should have thought in the arc kind of.
Yeah. You should buy a lottery ticket. You're on a roll.
Yeah. Okay.
So why don't we go to?
Weekly Roundup.
Yes, I was missing that.
There it is.
All right.
There
So,
it is.
Does anybody have any news, or should I go?
I have been so busy at work, I
This
have
is
no idea what's
Very
happening.
light news week, I think. Like
Are
it's
you-
the
are you-
post-con.
Good,
thing.
because I haven't had any
Are you
time.
going with Cap.
Yeah, I'll do
Because
that.
apparently Cap is good.
Apparently, Cap is I don't know. Apparently, very political.
Redneck liberal.
Yeah, apparently he hates conservatives. I guess.
Oh.
According to Fox News, I guess their morning show, which
Now
you
break
think-
this down for me slowly, because
Okay,
I'm blonde and I've
so
been
you
drinking.
think it's inconsequential, but I guess millions of people watch that show in the morning.
Yeah.
You
And
look
they were
white and bald.
What's
They-
that?
Oh wow, they were upset that Sam Wilson, Captain America #1, had the villain was the Sons of the Serpent, which we should know, at the very least, from Mark Waid's run of Daredevil, let alone from years and years of Captain America stories, they are a hate group that sort of like white supremacists
Okay.
hates anything not them.
Basically, the Klan.
Thugs, yeah,
Okay.
and have been for 50 years in comics.
And they were like green snake costumes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the serpent snake or whatever the
Serpent
Sons of
Society?
the Serpent,
Oh.
and then
Cobra.
I can't think of what the leader's name
Is
is.
that Cobra?
Cobra Commander? Oh no,
No,
different
Cobra's
universe.
DC. Never mind.
Yeah. No. But I guess they were upset that they were the villain and they were trying to
Stop.
stop the well, they were trying to stop
Illegal.
immigrants, like undocumented immigrants, from crossing the Mexico-U.S. border, and then I guess they were sort of off panel, but like killing the coyotes that would bring them off panel, and then they were upset at like some of the comments, I guess, that were made in the book or whatever, but they were sort of quasi defending the Sons of the Serpent, which are a hate group, like, and they themselves were saying that
Basically,
Captain was
yeah.
hating on conservatives.
Yeah, basically Fox and Friends.
Yeah, that's
basically
what it's called.
supported the Marvel Universe version of the Klan.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like
That's
you
where
can,
we're at.
you can dislike,
Oh.
I guess, the story or whatever, and even whatever about liberals and conservatives or whatever, but do you know who you're supporting? Like, and it
Right.
just seemed like
Yeah.
it was something for them to latch on to.
It was like somebody
fill
did
time
It was
to-
like somebody did a quick Google search to make sure this wasn't a brand new thing.
Yeah.
And then it was like, because they even said like they're a foil of the Avengers, and I'm like,
No.
Yeah, I was just, even I was surprised. Like, really, they're gonna go there?
Yeah.
But
must have
You
been
know,
a slow news day. For
this
them.
was the
Yeah.
thing
How about it? I was
Where-
just thinking the same thing.
remember, they were years ago. They were upset about Miles Morales. You know,
Yeah.
so and stuff like that. So I just don't. It either has to be like a stunt to get in the main news, or be some kind of fake controversy to be in the
Fake,
in
yes.
the mainstream news, and I just don't understand. Like, I guess comics just they can't just be in the news for a good story. I don't know. It's just not popular enough, I guess, unless it's a movie.
Right. But then you look at the attendance of like Comic-Con.
Actually, it was the biggest ever this year.
I guess the idea is that there's probably 1 million people that read comics, but of those million, they don't all buy the same books. Some will buy only Batman. Some will
Right.
buy all the Marvel books. Some will buy like an X-Files book. Some
Yeah.
will buy
Valiant.
Image books. Yeah, some will buy Valiant. Some will buy
everything Valiant makes.
Yeah.
some will buy just graphic novels, you know?
I don't know anybody like that.
So
Some people wait for the trade, man.
I guess it's popular, but there's not like a one voice to like bring
Right.
it to the, you know.
And it's one of those like, all right, I think you're reading a little too far into it.
Probably. Now I know Nick Spencer is a liberal guy,
Yeah,
but
it is.
it's just like I don't think he was trying to hate on conservatives with that, because if you actually read the book, it's a pretty jokey book. It's just kind of even the panel they showed, it was just like, you know, we're gonna save this and that or whatever. You know, it's just like it was a joke.
The guy like the head of the Sons of the Serpent.
Yeah.
He said he's like, and this and then etc. Like he didn't even have like the gusto.
You know what?
to
His
finish
heart
out
wasn't into it. It's
yeah.
like, oh, well, this
Like,
is what I
yeah,
should do.
yeah.
You know, we're part of this. So
It's like
let's-
based on the Constitution, and then
I gotta look this
etc.,
article up now. I'm
etc.,
intrigued. I gotta look at this. See it
etc.
tomorrow.
I posted it to
It's
the
a-
Oh, you did?
Our-
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
I-
That way I don't even
personal
have to do
thing.
the legwork.
CVR thing.
Viewers.
I did the Fox News one, and then
The Fox News one looks like a link
CBR
to another.
one.
It's got the Fox News like heading, but it's definitely a different website's
Oh,
article.
okay. Okay.
Like for a second, it looked like one of those websites that's like one of the mock news websites. I'm like, is this real? And then when you showed me the comic book, like where Fox and Friends actually talk about, I'm like,
I shot myself in the foot because two things happened. One, I cut my data plan on my phone back to 1 gig as
Whoa.
opposed to 2. And then immediately after I did that, I got in trouble at work for going on to Comic Book Resources because some malicious malware thing connected to our, or tried to connect to our thing at work through Comic Book Resources. So I can't go on that site at all anymore. So now I'm screwed. And by the time I get home at night, I get ocular migraines now because I'm old and my eyes are shot. I have no energy for my eyes at night to do anything on a computer screen. So I just can't stay up with the news anymore like I used to.
Newsarama's blocked me at work.
Is it?
CBR's one that's not.
do you have Wi-Fi at your house?
I do have Wi-Fi at my house.
Please do it on your phone.
I know. I'm just visually.
You're
I'm
so
so
beat.
tired.
Yeah.
On the weekends. On the weekends is when I can catch up. Bleeding Cool, ironically enough, is the one that I can get on at work without any problems.
Well,
Like
they
the
don't
major
know the
gossip
difference.
site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just pretty much just type. So that's probably why. CBR, there's a lot of ads.
There's tons of ads and pop-ups. And
The ads that show up, like, I'm like, I quick scroll back up, because it's like bikini ads.
Yeah, it's weird.
So, yeah. But did anybody else have news? Because it was a really slow news week.
Well, we mentioned it briefly. New York Comic Con ticket sales were up. 167,000 to last year's 150,
Holy shit.
140.
Wow.
151,000 from last year.
That's significantly more than San Diego now, isn't it? Or
It was more than San Diego last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
And
attendance.
is
but
it due to
again,
one-day
it's one of those-
sales, or is it due to?
There's a lot of one-day sales, and the fact that like San Diego's like, this is all we're selling. They could sell more,
Right.
but they're like, this is all we're
They
selling.
cut it.
Or New York's like, please, Repop's like, please keep giving us your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they keep taking it.
Is it the same corporation though?
No.
No,
No? Okay, they're
Repop
different.
is not the same. That
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Repop has New York.
They have New York, C2, E2.
Yeah.
And I
That's
forget the other
Chicago,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget who does Comic-Con, only because I don't have to do it that way anymore.
It's just like it's different. It's a completely different company.
Yeah.
Who sucks?
Yeah. And I guess the last but not least thing for
Comic-Con
me
International is, I guess, San Diego Comic-Con.
has been delayed until
Which?
2016. Uncanny X-Men now. The all new,
Number
all
one?
different. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Whole
That's
year.
one of the ones I was looking for.
Well, you gotta wait.
Wait, which
600,
book
I
is
think,
that?
comes out next week.
Oh, but then it's the new iteration of that
Mhm.
book that's being delayed.
The Uncanny X-Men's the Cullen Bunn one, right?
Greg Land, Cullen Bunn, it's Magneto-led coat. Like, all right, gotcha. Dark Ops team. Okay.
I'm surprised that would be delayed because Greg Land, I mean, for whatever people think of him, he's a quick artist.
I don't think it is writing or artist. I think I don't know why they delayed it. Why did they say why they delayed it?
I didn't get that.
It might be that they just want to get up through. Well, you said what 600's coming is soon.
Mhm.
Maybe they just want to get up through 600 and then they'll start. Like it'll be 600.
Yeah.
One starts the new arc.
Yeah.
I know Extraordinary is supposed to come out like right after Uncanny 600. Extraordinary, that's the big new Lemire book.
Yeah.
Lemire Umberto Ramos book, I think.
If they would have picked any other artist.
Yeah, that's-
hate Ramos.
I hate
Oh, really? I don't hate him.
Not for the X-Men.
He worked pretty well in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It was cool because he's very athletic and acrobatic.
right. I just, even the promo pics, oh no, I can't.
I don't like the way he draws faces.
Yeah.
They're-
A lot of people end up with
They're a
silly
little
Kyle from
elongated. Especially guys, they can be a little elongated. They look like almost like the Easter Island guys sometimes.
It's not just that, like their eyes that like tend to drift.
They're like,
apart.
well, they have like the black kind of eyes. Like it's just like almost like black lids sometimes too. With
Yeah.
how that works. But I mean, it works on some stuff. I thought it worked really well in Spider-Man, and it actually with that Revelations book that he did. Remember
That was beautiful.
I enjoyed
That
that.
was beautiful, yes.
So, I don't know. I feel like if you love that, I don't know. Try number one, and if you just can't do it, just
right.
don't,
And that's what I'm doing with all the new Marvel books. I'm picking
Yeah.
them up off the shelf, and I'm going to decide then
Yeah.
and there, am I going to go ahead with this or not?
the new Avengers ones thus far are iffy. I think
None of them appealed to me. I
I'm
have to
waiting for
admit.
Mark Waid's, and they have basically like the big guns on that for art wise. So Mahmoud Asrar I love, and I guess it's Adam Kubert, right? Andy Kubert's DC, Adam Kubert's Marvel.
Roquefort's
How's that
doing
at Thanksgiving?
pencils on one. Sandoval is doing pencils on another.
Gerardo Sandoval, yeah.
Oh, and they're not bad artists. They're just not. They're not Avengers artists to me. That's why I'm kind of holding off on all the new.
Ryan Stegman, maybe there's like a thing that's saying with the Avengers stuff that it has to be a little more manga-ishy or
I'm not getting that book
you know,
either.
like poppy.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Stegman changed his art style for Uncanny Avengers. I have it right here.
There it is. Did that just come out
It's
this week?
definitely last week.
Okay.
I
Oh, you're gonna review it?
No, I couldn't remember if anybody was reviewing it or not. It wasn't good enough to review.
Is it comments or chat?
It's funny, but I
It
don't.
should be chat.
I don't know. It's
Tell
not
me to
like
go
the
under
other
his
Uncanny
account.
Avengers books before it.
Okay.
You
So
know-
what's the deal? Rogue has like a virus now from the Terrigen Mist.
Yeah,
and she's taking like
she's
a
taking like a
inoculation?
medication, and the other X-Men. She's one of the few X-Men that have stayed on planet.
Everybody
the
else
rest have
is
gone,
to-
out, which is I guess where the extraordinary stuff goes in, comes in.
Okay.
And she blames the Inhumans, which is cool. It makes sense, but also, I feel like couldn't she have? The entirety of the previous Uncanny Avengers was her and Scarlet Witch not getting together, and her blaming Scarlet Witch for something that she did the X-Men.
Right.
So it's like it's just kind of a repetitive story.
Where she's like a victim, constantly blaming others.
Yeah, and it's just like, what did she learn from the previous thing?
And if anything, she should blame Black Bolt, not the Inhumans as a
Yeah,
group. Black Bolt's
yeah.
the only one that.
Just Black Bolt. Yeah. It just seems like Rogue's character. I don't like what they're doing with her, and I love Rogue's character. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to continue with this after number 1.
Roger that.
Yeah. So that's my negative review. So
Okay.
I usually don't do negative reviews, but I really honestly didn't like it. I liked the Deadpool Steve Rogers interactions. That's
Okay.
what I liked with the book.
And
And
that was
Quicksilver had a funny bit in it.
Okay.
But that was it. I hated what they did with Rogue.
Mm.
They just made her out she just seemed like a fool who didn't learn anything. And she's learned so much stuff over the years. And depending on the writer, they just tend to, I don't know, reverse her, make her dumber.
And like a whiny victim type.
Yeah, I just, I wish they would understand that her character has evolved over how many years? 35 years.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
Has it been that
Oh
long?
my God!
Well, maybe no.
Probably.
I guess 30.
It was Paul
Early
Smith's run
80s?
on the X-Men. Well, actually, no, it was the annual.
What was
It had
her
the
first
Avengers
appearance?
annual. In the X-Men, or
Mhm.
in the? It was Avengers
Oh,
annual.
period. What was
Well,
her
she
first?
was a villain, right?
And
it
she was a villain. It was during
Mystique?
Paul Smith's
Was it
run.
with Mystique, or was it?
It was. No, wait. Let me think. John Byrne left the book at 143. Then Cockrum came back for a while. Then Paul Smith did 155 to 165, 165 to
So that's
175.
80. So it's coming on 30 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Holy Christ, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeek.
One of my favorite characters, and you know more than me about that era. So
I love Rogue
it's-
too. Yeah, Rogue kicked ass from the beginning.
So, since we pretty much discussed this, we discussed me negatively, berating this fucking book.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
Why don't we go into a review? And
Okay.
since we haven't heard from little Valiant in a while,
Okay.
we'll go to Mr. Valiant.
All right. I'm doing a Valiant trifecta this evening. I'm going to do Unity first. I did not like, now talk about negative reviews, I will come out and admit that I did not like the previous story arc on Unity. I found that
The devolved one, where they... No,
they
you
were
liked-
fighting that hate monger or whatever her name
okay,
was.
yeah.
I didn't care for that at all. I didn't like the artists that they picked for some of the sequences,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
I
thought
remember that.
the story itself was quite stilted and boring.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
Corny finally answered the question.
About fucking time. What else does he have to do?
In the chat now.
So,
Comments.
sorry for the late response, but I really like the issue of Booster Gold when he tries to stop Barbara Gordon from being shot by the Joker in the 52-card pickup arc.
And he keeps going back, right?
Yeah.
And he can't. He realizes that time is like a fixed whatever, and he can't change it. That is a
Yeah.
good story.
I completely forgot about that one.
Dick.
They put on my Facebook page.
I don't get it.
Job you want.
Okay.
Sorry, Larry, I can take a lot of talking, but she's just repeated the word blah for the last 65 miles. Consider my debt paid, and she was literally saying blah the whole time. So they make it to, so after he drops her, they make her to, yes, you feel great? Shut the hug up.
I like when she asks, why is it so cold?
Stuff, and it's the gigantic bounty hunter. And he is armed.
Skulls, swords,
Skulls for knee pads. He doesn't have hands. He just has an axe and like a ball and chain, like a spiked ball and chain where his hand should be.
As you should.
He's kind of like a Conan Lobo hybrid type thing.
But the best
Lobo,
part
I didn't
is,
think of that.
the moon is still alive in the sky, bandaged up. But now
Oh, look at that. I didn't even notice
but
that.
now he's a crescent moon.
That's great.
That's
Because his brain is gone.
good.
Yeah.
And look at the back cover. I didn't notice the back cover before either. That is awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, this was like the hype for this book. Like even the pinups are cool.
Yeah. And the little story from him in the back about how he didn't grow up idolizing Marvel and DC. He idolized Image. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, who knows? May end up with him wanting to make a book with that lowercase I on the cover.
Yeah.
Talk about Image. So yeah, for our first issue, it was really, really good. I subscribed to it. I'm gonna be getting it all, and I hope if the other issues are anything like this, it's got me.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so check out I Hate Fairyland / Fuck Fairyland.
Which would have been a much cooler title.
Oh yeah, but you kind of hard to market that.
I know.
But yeah, so check it out. It's awesome.
Cool.
We sold out of it.
Yeah.
All covers.
All covers.
All covers sold out.
Well, should we do our first? I think in 99 episodes, Toymaster has
99.
never reviewed.
Oh shit!
I have.
Yeah.
What did you review?
I'm gonna go out on a ledge here. I'm gonna say it was probably a Batman book.
No.
And if it wasn't a Batman book, I'm gonna say it was Injustice.
Okay. Well,
It
why
might
don't you
have been
do a
Injustice.
Robin book?
Yeah.
How about I do a Grayson book?
Okay.
Either way, it's
We'll take it.
eternal.
It could be a Batman, a Robin, or a Grayson book.
All
Which
right.
one will he do?
Well, I will be choosing, which I think may actually be my new favorite book that I look forward to reading.
Well,
But now, hold on.
Injustice is over.
Well, now that Injustice isn't coming back out until
January.
next year.
But
Except
it's
for
by
the
Tom
annual.
Taylor now, right?
Well, again.
Yeah.
But the other guy didn't do a bad job either. So,
Leto did a great job.
you know, I didn't miss Tom Taylor.
Yeah.
I am happy that he's coming back, but I don't know if he's coming back to Injustice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is he?
I think he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then that makes me even happier because now he's going to be doing
Yeah,
Batman
Superman,
and Superman.
Green Lantern.
Apparently, he had a 1-year contract with Marvel and didn't work out, so he's
Well,
freelance
still,
again.
He's still doing something. Yeah, he's
Yeah, well, I'm saying he's freelance now. Yeah.
he's doing Agents of Atlas.
Who's writing the Ethan Siver drawn Green Lantern 6-issue miniseries?
I think Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor.
That is Tom Taylor. Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
gonna have to read that one.
Yeah, and then like on the when he's on Batman and Superman, it's him and Robson Roca.
Okay.
Gonna have to read
It
it.
just
I'm
never-
excited about Ethan
So
Siver,
Lobo's
but
going away
I
when
haven't
he
been
gets,
following the Green
but
Lantern
Lobo's gonna
stuff
get
at
Tom
all.
Taylor
You don't need to.
I guess not.
No.
But like, you liked his Iron Man,
Oh, I love
but
Iron Man.
and I enjoyed it, but I don't know. Just it seemed like the general public didn't warm up to him with Marvel. But
I
with
didn't-
it's like he's almost at home with DC. You know, some writer like Bendis. Could I imagine him at DC? I don't know.
No.
You know?
Good, welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh, so you mean it's like artists too, like Ramita Jr.
Ugh.
Like he was great over at Marvel, not, and he's off Superman. Did you notice that?
I did not know that.
I don't like him.
He's not on Superman right now. Coming up.
The only thing I ever liked him on was Uncanny X-Men. I haven't liked anything
Really?
else he has ever
Daredevil?
done.
You didn't like Daredevil? I mean,
Oh, I
Daredevil?
forgot about Daredevil. I forgot about
okay.
yes, and
We're
Nocenti.
okay.
Yeah. I forgot about okay.
Okay. See, you got to
So
remember
he did do
what
some
he
other
did.
stuff. Yeah.
All you do is you remember his.
You're right.
current-
It's Marvel. Yeah, I like
you
his
remembered
Marvel
his
stuff.
most recent Captain America run, probably more than
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
Where it was a little boxy and all that, and just
You know who else I don't like?
he
And I know
continued
this
that
is
with Superman, but
this is-
I didn't.
comic book sacrilege. I don't like the Kuberts. Kuberts, however the fuck you say
Really?
it. I don't like their artwork.
I like
either.
Adam.
Either one of them.
I don't like Andy. But
I would need to relook at their stuff.
I like their art depending. It all depends on what book they're doing. Because I really like them like on a military book. Like
Okay, I can see that.
They did some Sergeant Rock stuff.
Because their dad did the military
and
stuff.
It looked really good.
Joe did all the stuff. Yeah.
It looked really good, and then it was like, eh.
Yeah. Yeah, not a Kubert fan.
so Lee, who are the creators on this book?
Oh, why are you asking me silly questions like that? Other than
Silly questions.
James
like,
Tinian the Fourth.
Give
That's the only
credit
one I
to
can
Tinian.
tell you.
Credit is
Tinian.
due.
All right. Well, I know Scott Snyder has his name on said book, but he just kind of, I guess, wrote the outline. He
Yeah, I get
did
the sense-
broad paintbrush
I
strokes.
get
He's
the
like,
sense he's
use
the
Robin.
showrunner, and then the
Well,
writer writes it.
Yeah.
Which is
No, I
Tiny
think
and-
he was like, use Grayson.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Whose name is
Tiny and
it?
Steve Orlando.
Snyder.
Oh, Scott, yeah.
Somebody else.
Midnight.
It's a bunch of.
A bunch of gay dudes.
Isn't that?
I don't know.
But, yeah.
Cordos. Do you know that name? Burrito.
I like burritos.
No, I said burrito.
Burrito.
Burrito?
Burrito.
I
Whatever.
know Burrito, but I don't know Burrito.
Sealy.
Tim Seeley. Okay.
Okay. So again, I will be reviewing Batman and Robin Eternal #2. I was
Number five.
extremely happy when I read issue 1, and then I'm like, probably gonna get let down on issue 2, and I wasn't.
Good.
And I wasn't on issue 3, but that's another podcast.
Oh, that's right, because it's weekly, so 3
It
is
is a
already.
weekly
Damn.
book.
They
And
just keep putting it out there, don't they?
I got to tell you, now I personally have not been. I was not disappointed in any of the DC weekly books.
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't like Future, but whatever. I did. Okay. So in this book, we pick up literally right after issue 1,
The colors.
and we have Harper Row, who just got the snot kicked out of her by this guy, the Orphan. Now, if you don't know who the Orphan
Is she
is,
playing Bluebird?
she is. Yes.
Playing Bluebird.
Well, yeah, she is Bluebird. But she
Super
just
face.
she got messed up. And you can see right here, just from this panel, the Orphan. Yeah, he demolished her.
Oh, jeez.
That's not your mother's orphan.
Well, it is your mother's orphan,
That's not
actually.
Orphan Annie.
My mom's a slut.
Well, Mother created him. Well,
Okay.
because of Batman killing the parents. We saw that in issue 1.
Okay,
yeah,
that was
that's
the
right. He
past
had the
thing
gun,
that
and he was
Yes,
like,
when he was in
decided to-
Cairo.
He didn't want to tell anybody, right?
Yes, that's his deepest, darkest sin. Which
Since the previous one.
I don't think he really had one, other than Damian
Was it
Wayne.
Death of the Family?
He didn't
had
tell
a big
them
previous one
about the card.
with Joker.
Damian Wayne was a big sin.
Oh.
That's just my personal opinion. So anyway, he is going after Harper Row because at the end of issue 1, we saw a list, almost a contract list of everybody that needed to be taken out, and she is on the list. And then in comes crashing through the window, which we saw on last issue, is Cassandra Cain, who a lot of us may know from the previous incarnation of DC was a Batgirl.
Yep, she was the Black Bat.
Yes.
And she's on that list as well, isn't
She is also on said list. And I love this where she just comes crashing through the window and she punches the Orphan square right in the nose.
Damn.
And then you see right down in here, which pretty much would happen to just about anybody. You get your nose smashed, you're crying.
Big pussy.
And, oh, yeah, well, yeah, he has some tears being
It
shed.
hurts.
It does hurt. It hurts a lot. So we do have a pretty interesting battle between Cassandra Cain and the Orphan. And then who do we see down below Harper Row?
Grayson.
We see Mr. Grayson.
So that's 3 Robins currently.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And now, just like you always see in Grayson, everybody always talks about the nice little color where
Yeah.
they do all the flips.
Yeah.
Boom.
Is that Stephanie?
So, ironically, I'm getting to that part.
Pet.
So we do have, which
called
was
the
Dick
Brian
Grayson,
book.
boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom,
right.
going right up. And then we have Stephanie right there, which is yet another Robin.
Can I ask you a question real
You
quick
may.
before you continue while we're on the topic of Dick? Did you read Titans, hon?
I did only half of it, so
Okay. All right, I won't
yeah,
say any more. You're going to love it, though. 'cause
I'm
it's
sure
all
I
Dick.
will.
Yeah.
I know. I saw. So,
Dude, look
anyway, so we have Stephanie Brown here, and she drops her grocery bags, and she's like, "Kiss me, sexy Batman."
That's awesome.
I thought that was kind of cool, and everybody else in the other podcasts were like, "I don't get it."
She's kind of like a dressed down sidekick. I love her.
So we do have this nice little battle between Harper, Cassandra, and the Orphan.
And we should say the color work is great.
Yeah, it is.
Rain Barreto, as Kyle
Yeah,
pointed
the
out.
art's fantastic.
Okay. I wasn't really paying too much attention to the color. I was paying more attention to the action and the story. But you're right.
It's all
The
there.
art is good.
It's all there.
The coloring is very good. And we do have Dick Grayson doing what he does best with his acrobatic skills.
Flipping.
And boom, out goes the Orphan. And now we find out that Bluebird and Stephanie Brown are roommates.
And lovers. No, I made that part up.
I don't think there was any
No,
lesbian action
just
going
joking.
on.
Just joking.
But she knows that this is Nightwing. She says Nightwing.
This
and
is
he's
starting
like,
to look very Paul Pelletier.
okay, I don't know who that is. But moving on. Now we do a
He
flashback.
did Aquaman.
My Aquaman?
After Even Reese left.
Oh, that wasn't my Aquaman. Yeah. So now we have a flashback, and this has been so far pretty consistent in all the issues that I have read. And we actually flash back with Dick Grayson as Robin with his time with Batman. And this one, they are actually going after the Joker. And the reason why he brings this up, because he recognizes a familiar smell, which was the fear toxin gas, which, well, we actually have him reminiscing about it. And it's a lot of that, where they're just talking about his exploits with the Joker, not Joker, the Scarecrow. Now, we actually have, at this point, Dick Grayson proceeds to say, wait a second, he's recalling this list, and he's like, Arsenal. Arsenal's on that list. So he does his little holographic watch and
yeah.
proceeds to say, call Arsenal, and let Arsenal know that, hey, you have an assassin after you.
As in Roy Harper?
As in, no, not Arsenal. I'm sorry, Red Hood. Red Hood.
Oh, okay.
Red Hood.
As
Ooh.
in Jason Todd.
Yeah, as in Jason Todd. Yeah.
Okay.
All the Robins.
Okay.
If you're seeing a pattern here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Part of the Bat family. So he proceeds to call Red Hood, and I like it because, well, the Red Hood mask doesn't have any facial things. I hate when they actually
He would be
put
miserable
lips.
in that mask, but anyway.
I don't think so. So Dick Grayson's calling, like I said, and letting him know that there's an assassin coming after him. And then Red Hood's like, oh yeah? What does she look like?
Oh.
And
Oh, that's
here we
Cassandra.
go. It's Cassandra Cain, who left. And we have Red Hood having her down on the ground.
And the next issue is called Pain and Cain.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's
You know,
really
this is
good.
brilliant, and I'm gonna say, people love the Robins. People love Batman's sidekicks.
Uh-huh.
And this is almost like a team book.
Without being one.
Yeah, without being one of all of Batman's sidekicks. It's kind of brilliant. They should have done it years ago.
I just want to see Jean-Paul Vallée.
I know, and his name is on that list, so you know it's coming.
I know.
You know it's coming.
I know.
This is what, 26 issues?
Yeah, it's
got
yeah.
hang on.
Half a year.
Yeah, it's half a year. So, but I got to tell you, I love this book.
I think that's the right amount for a weekly book.
You know, I was okay with Batman Eternal being 52 issues.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, I'm okay with it as long as it's good story.
Yeah,
You're looking at it from a monetary standpoint. I'm just looking at it.
well, no.
This is good.
I was looking at it where I thought the art started lagging, where they started getting guys that were subpar doing the art.
But you get that with any other comic.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
let's look at Aquaman right now. I loved Aquaman, and now Aquaman, in my opinion, the art has gone.
Well, what issue is it at? 49.
Yeah, give or take.
So yeah,
But it's gone down before that.
just like I just wish, I don't know, a weekly book. I think it just stop at like 25, 26, something like, because I would like a core amount of writers and artists and a coherent storyline. And Batman Eternal had a coherent storyline.
Absolutely.
But I don't think the art followed the second half compared to the first half at all.
I
think
won't
it was
disagree
far
with you.
inferior.
But now I also look at like Injustice, which again is no big secret. I love this book, and the art in Injustice is nowhere near like say what we're looking at here in Batman Eternal is nowhere near a lot of your books. But I gotta tell you, the art's just good enough for me. But the story is just. It just keeps me coming back.
Is this issue for sale?
Yes, that's yes.
Do you have any number 3s?
I do.
Okay. Is that issue for sale?
Yeah.
Can I put these in my pull? Can I go put them in my drawer?
I guess so. You could.
All right. Yeah, I got it. I got to start reading this book.
You want to add it to your pull?
One?
Yeah, I'm gonna add it to my pull.
He got number 1. I told him to get
I
number
have
one
number 1,
because
yeah.
of Grayson.
Am I crazy, or did I not say that this was Brian's book?
You might have said that. I told Brian on issue number 1, and he's like, "No, I just can't
And
get into a
Do you
weekly
remember
book."
in
I love
previews?
sidekicks.
You remember in previews, he's like, "Oh, I love all the Robins, but I don't know if I can do it."
Yeah,
And it just, I mean, come on now.
it's such
we
a
know
good
Brian,
book.
We know Brian.
And the artwork.
At least it's $3 a week. It's not the Wolverine's $4 a week.
Oh
book.
yeah, my God, yeah. And didn't that get up to 5?
No, it was 4. I got all the trades. It was 5 trades,
Was it?
so
Okay.
20 issues, or no, 25 issues. Okay.
Well, Coiny
wasn't
proceeded
a
to
bad
say
story,
something
but-
here. Seeley wrote number 2. I think he's talking about our Batman and Robin Eternal.
Mhm.
And then he proceeds to say something about Paul Pelletier drew Aquaman. You're right, Brian. And he's on Justice League United now, which is
Yes.
getting canceled. So I
Yeah.
guess...
Well, Coiny said that Justice League United improved a lot, though. He just wasn't.
So did
able to
Lobo.
review it.
Yeah.
So.
Lobo's been amazing recently.
I wonder if it's like.
into Sinestro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just.
Because they have something for him to do.
Yeah.
Somewhat that people care about.
Well, I think it's somebody that people care about, and they can let go of the old Lobo that everyone loves. Because I can let go of it now because, you know what? This is a really damn good story.
Yeah.
I don't really care if it's not the same Lobo anymore.
I don't care
That's the
what
thing. It
costume
has to be
is.
well written. Yeah, it has to be well written. That's it.
Well, just nobody believed him as a badass to start, and now.
And now he's going after ring wielders. It's believable.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Especially
to
when
put
he's
him in
chopping
the-
off digits.
Yeah, that
Yep.
are like biting off his own finger so he doesn't
Mhm.
become a member.
It's
of
not
the
just
Corps.
like tell, it's show. You
Yeah.
gotta, with comics.
I think when you have an iconic character like Lobo, the old Lobo, and people have grown to love that style, and then when you drastically change it to that, you're going to have a lot of resistance for a very long time, and maybe that book may not do too well. I mean, just look at, I say Deathstroke, but I think part of that was Liefeld. I think that was a reason why a lot of people. Same with Hawkman too. I don't think that. I don't think they like Hawkman because
No. Right.
of Liefeld. That's just
I
my
honestly, I
personal
didn't
opinion.
give either book a shot.
No.
I did.
It's that much of a turnoff for me.
I
It's-
even tried to give Hawk and Dove a shot, and then I'm like,
I like Hawkman,
No.
but
I
Yeah.
nope.
Hawk and Dove, yeah.
I got to tell you, I religiously followed Deathstroke. I did. I followed it because I really liked the character. It was one of my characters from when I was growing up. And I just...
Well, it's like with Green Arrow. What happened to Green Arrow? It plummeted under Nocente, and I think it was Judd Winnick.
Okay.
Was it Judd Winnick that? No, not Judd Winnick. Yeah, Judd Winnick did in New 52. He did some stuff, and
Don't remember. I didn't follow Green Arrow at all.
I haven't
it
followed
took-
Green Arrow.
It took Lemire to almost
Yeah.
reboot the thing, and then
Yeah.
it depends on the creator too.
Matter of
Yeah.
fact, the only Green Arrow that I can honestly say that I remember is part of Year One.
Oh, really?
So...
Well, when you have a mid
or 0 year. 0 year. I'm
Well,
sorry.
say, when you
Yeah.
have a mid-tier character, you can't just skate by like you can with Batman or, well, say even Superman. At its lowest, Superman still sells a decent amount.
Mhm.
Where Green Arrow, Hawkman, things like that, they need something, a force behind them
Yeah.
to propel it. You know.
Like, I'm more
It
interested
binds us
in
together.
Arrow, the comic book, than I am Green Arrow, the comic book.
The current
Yeah,
one's
definitely.
not. The current one's not bad. I didn't like what they did right after Lemire, and
No.
I dropped it. And then
It was awful.
I read an issue currently. It wasn't bad.
Hmm.
I mean, it wasn't good enough for me to pick it back up. I picked one random issue up, but yeah, I don't know. So should we dip back into the Valiant universe?
Exo Man of War, issue
Oh,
number 41. This is Valiant's flagship book.
And this is the one that you've read the least of.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say,
So
I
this-
regret.
Is this the only one that This is the only one that breaks the 24 issues in out.
Yeah, right. This is their flagship. It's up to number 41.
Yeah, this one they keep going.
And I regret that I waited as long as I did because it is really fucking good. Our creative team is Robert Venditti and Rafa Sandoval.
So
Rafa's a
he's
great
doing
artist.
Book of Death, right?
Robert Venditti, yes.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
Venditti's going to do the Eternal Warrior book too.
Yes.
He did Green Lantern.
Fred Van Linty.
Linty.
Is just, I mean, it's not open to the public, but is going to be over here at Penn State Berks this Thursday for a seminar on comics.
Son of a bitch.
Wait, on Thursday?
Yeah.
I'll be out of state.
Are-
Son of a bitch. What about my needs?
Are we going to move anything?
What do you mean?
For that?
Heaven and Earth? I've
Yes.
already been talking to him, and I can't.
For Fred, you should move Heaven and Earth.
I can't get him here.
No, I'm saying...
No, it's not. They
I know.
actually have him booked solid.
I'm sure.
And I
What
talked
I'm-
to the coordinator.
No, what I'm saying is, should we do this another night or morning?
It's not open to the public.
Oh.
So we can't get in.
Well,
Damn.
we can.
Who's it open to?
You might.
You can.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we could say that they're employees.
So the guy that actually read the book of him talking about the history of comics can't get in, but the guy that...
The guy that owns the comic book store that
Yeah.
that one of the guys volunteers for can get in.
I guess.
I wonder where
yeah.
he... Is he local? Does he live locally, or...
No,
it's from
Penn
New
State
York.
is actually paying for him to come.
And I think
Yeah,
it's in the
hence why
city.
he can't break off to come to us because they got him booked up.
And he's talking about comic books?
He's talking about comic books. He wrote a book.
The history of
Yeah.
comic books, yeah. In comic book form, which was really cool.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Huh. Good for him.
Yeah. Like I said, I really did.
It's a really good
I
book. I
tried to
recommend
get
it.
him here. I
They
did.
might have a copy.
Just think how many stupid college students aren't into comic books. We should be able to fill those seats, damn it.
Actually, they have their own little class, and some of them actually came here for like a field trip.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, anyway, Exo Man of War. This is another issue in the Exodus storyline. I think Coiny reviewed the issue prior to this. This is a very tense standoff, what's happening here. The Vine have lost their home world,
Yeah.
Loam, and they have come to Earth,
Stranded.
right, for asylum. And we had a soldier who had post-traumatic stress disorder, and he basically opened fire on these poor helpless aliens. Well, I shouldn't say helpless, but these poor aliens who were seeking refuge. And all hell has broken loose now, and so Sana, who is Exo's new wife, I should call him Arik, not Exo, Arik's new wife, she has insisted on helping these people medically and assisting them and nursing them back to health. Now, unfortunately, one of Kate Capshaw's main men is one of the Vine plantings. In other words, almost like how the Skrulls invaded the Marvel Universe, now we have the Vine, or not the Vine, I'm sorry.
To me,
excuse
this reminds me of Battlestar Galactica, the modern one,
Yes,
where
yes.
they don't even know they're kind of triggered
Right.
to do what they do.
And they're, what are they called? Vine plantings or something like that?
Yeah,
Vine
I believe so.
Seedlings, something like
no,
that?
they're plantings.
Plantings. And he has been given orders to kill Sana. And this soldier basically has her in his crosshairs of his rifle, and he keeps getting thwarted and interrupted. The gate ship arrives and comes down, and they try to negotiate a peace. So just as this Vine soldier is getting ready to blow Sana's head off, she gets like shuffled away with the survivors from the previous attack. So now we have there's a lot of like racism, like interspecies racism with Trill. Trill is like one of the Vine people that came down during a battle when I wasn't reading Exo several years back. And he's been alive on the planet, and we just realized a couple issues back that he's still alive and has been there all along. He doesn't like the plantings because he thinks that they're too human.
Calls them half-breeds.
Half-breeds. He thinks they've been living on Earth too long. They've adopted too many Earth customs. He sees them as soft and weak. And the one girl basically comes back at him and says, "I am not soft. I am harder than he ever was." So there's conflict there amongst these
And
people.
the interesting thing about that is when you do that, those
You are?
people,
phrasing.
the ones that you question,
Yeah,
sometimes try to work even harder to prove themselves,
exactly.
which can come back to haunt.
Because they have to put right, exactly.
Mhm.
That's right. So then you have the High Priest of the Vine and their lead soldier. They are being ushered over to Jamie Capshaw, and they're going to try and broker some kind of peace between Gate and Earth and humans and the Vine. And as this conference is going on, they're making some headway. Exo is doing a lot of translating. What's happening?
Oh, Coiny's saying this is not a very good book.
What? Well, we're going to have to talk about this.
I'm just telling you.
All right.
He said you should be reading Batman Eternal. All right,
I will be.
all right, I just threw that part in.
Okay. But did he really say this is not a good book?
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked.
Look,
I'm going to have to bitch slap him.
well, the man doesn't like what the man doesn't like.
All right.
And if it's not a very good book, it's not a very good book, Brian.
Coiny, message me on the message group and explain to me why you don't like this.
Well, I can tell you why he doesn't like it.
I'm very cross. Anyway, just as they are starting to establish some peace between the two groups, unfortunately, the Vine Seedling fires off his rounds and he basically kills the main soldier.
Wording, Brian. Wording.
Oh,
Phrasing.
sorry. Yes.
Phrasing.
He shoots
Phrasing.
bullets. He fires his rifle, and pock, he puts like 3 or 4 blasts right through the chest of the main priest of the Vine, and he says, "No peace!" And the soldier tries to protect the high priest. Exo manages to use his armor, paff, and he like basically blows the guy away. And then Exo immediately realizes that actually it's not Exo, it's the lead soldier. He says to Exo, if you don't keep the head priest alive, there will never be any peace between humanity and the Vine. Well, this head soldier, before he headed over to this, whatever you want to call it, this meeting of the minds, so to speak, he put another soldier in charge of the army, and he said, listen, if any shit goes down, Grev was his name. He's like, Grev, the truce is a farce. We must act now. So Grev clicks this like remote control thing, and then we're in near-Earth orbit. The Vine fleet waits for orders. They realize that some shit has gone down on the planet, and the issue ends with basically them firing off all of these deadly missiles. And there's poor Arik in his Exo, and you see all the missiles coming in towards the planet. So this whole thing has been a total fucking disaster.
For peace.
First because the one soldier had that post-traumatic stress disorder, and then because this other soldier was secretly a Vine planting. I mean, I hate to say it, but Jamie Capshaw has lost a little bit of my confidence. You know, she needs to start vetting her people a little bit more thoroughly. Like, can just anybody become a soldier under her regime? Like, what is happening here?
I'm a soldier.
So, I was one. So anyway, yes, another excellent issue. No matter what Coiny says, another excellent issue of Exo Man of War.
He just gurred at you.
Grr!
Grr.
Oh, we are gonna throw down.
Like,
Tell him I'm getting out my box cutter and I'm gonna cut his ass.
you don't need to. You can look at the camera and say it.
Coiny, I'm gonna cut your ass. Deep and wide and frequent.
Phrasing.
I didn't say that about Exo. Lee's being weird. I didn't even get a chance to pick up that you're such an asshole. But it made for some good drama.
He did gurr at you.
It's like a professional wrestling
Look,
episode.
gurr.
It fakes
See,
fake
gurr.
drama.
Gurr. 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 Gurr.
Grr, oh my goodness.
I told you he gurred at you. I wasn't lying.
You are something else.
Okay.
Which brings us to...
So,
And then now he's trying to say the gurr was at Chris.
the completely on time Secret Wars #6 by Jonathan Hickman, Esad
Wait,
Ribic, and Yves
Isn't that a month late?
Sforcina.
More than.
It was on time.
It comes out when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny because my diamond says differently.
Your diamond is wrong.
This is number 6 of 8,
Hmm.
and number 7, 8, and 9 will be coming soon.
Wasn't it supposed to be
so
done
how
by
is it-
December?
How is it 6 of 8 if there's a 9th?
Well, they changed their plans.
Because they needed to add an extra book
He's
to
altered the
make the
deal.
story
Right, they
seem
don't
more
know.
coherent.
Further.
Well, let's be real. The reason they added number 9 was so that they could put out 7 and 8 quicker. That's what
Cody
it
in our
was.
messenger says the GUR was at Lee.
Okay.
So
For lying.
I
where
wasn't lying. I was trying to make good storytelling. It's like comic books.
It's like professional wrestling.
where we left off before, Doctor Strange
Was dead.
is dead, but he put everybody from the raft out into Battleworld. And we go here, and Valeria is in charge of trying to find them
Poor Valeria.
and bring them back to Doom. And she is sort of between a rock and a hard place here. She wants to find out the truth, but does she really? Because she kind of knows what the truth is, I think, at this point.
She's starting
With-
to see the cracks.
With Doctor Doom, her father.
You really
Lord
think she
Doom.
knows?
Yes.
Especially in this issue, she kind of
Yeah.
doesn't want to know, but she knows.
Yeah.
That her father is up to no good.
That we'll get there, but when
Her
she talks to the
father.
two Spideys and she's like, yeah, we'll get there.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a good back and forth with all right. So Phil, there was a couple seconds. There's a good back and forth with Doctor Doom or Lord Doom, whatever the hell God Doom,
God Doom.
Valeria, and the Black Swan. And the Black Swan, if you remember, the Black Swans were Doom's sort of creations.
I thought it was
guess.
a movie with Natalie Portman.
I did too.
Anyway,
That too, yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
And she is finally back home, as it were. So she reports to him. And where we go next is we go to the Foundation, the future Foundation, as it were, as it exists in Battleworld. And I love Bentley. I love the way he's still goofy. He's still like,
Creepy.
I'm so evil, haha, isn't it funny I'm evil? And the only panel that's not perfect in this issue is when they close up on Bentley.
Yeah.
The only
Do
panel
you-
that's weird.
That
He
is
looks like a
weird.
weird...
He looks cross-eyed.
He
Do you
looks
know who
like
he
a
looks like?
disabled Namor.
Do you know the old horror movie called
needs
Magic, where the guy was a ventriloquist and the puppet takes over his mind and he starts killing people?
No.
It's an oldie. It's like from the 70s. He looks exactly like the scary, creepy fucking marionette puppet from
Yeah. So, out of the 24 pages or whatever this is, that is the only panel that just looks weird, man.
really weird, freaky.
Special needs Namor.
Special needs Namor. There we go. I said disabled Namor. That's not correct. And then we go to Reed and Ultimate Reed had this amazing interaction. If you've read Ultimate Fantastic Four and regular Fantastic Four, you got to read these pages. I don't want to ruin it for you, but really, that they realize that they go back and forth and say, "Oh, a plan exists. We're just going to implement it. We got to work on it. We need the correct people." So, Valeria, and separately, Miles and Peter, Spider-Man, both go to under Castle Doom to try to figure out where the power source of Battleworld is.
This is my favorite part of the whole
And
book.
we learn that, well, we already knew as the readers, it's Molecule Man.
Yeah.
But they learn, and he's being goofy as hell. And honestly, the funniest part in this series thus far is when Miles randomly pulls out a cheeseburger. He's like,
trying to figure
"You
out
have a cheeseburger?"
how old
And-
the cheeseburger
and it's
is.
like, this cheeseburger is what, 7 years old or something? It's like, no, we've been suspended.
He's like, that
Oh
doesn't
wait,
count.
so it's only a 3-week-old cheeseburger. Okay. And as they go, we go to the next panel. Molecule Man just says, "Oh, so
yeah,
good."
he's like making love to it, man. He is like making love to that cheeseburger.
That's an underrated part of Hickman's stuff. He's
Yeah.
a funny dude.
Yeah.
He makes some funny stuff. But then we go back to all of Doom's underlings, the various barons of.
And they're all shitbirds.
I guess it's Magic from.
The X-Men?
Oh, you mean
yeah.
the Goblin Queen? Is it Madeline Pryor?
No, I thought it was Magic.
No, it's Magic from
The X-Men.
Inferno, I think. The Inferno Magic. I think that's Inferno Magic. Inferno era
Maybe.
Magic.
Oh.
I could be wrong. There's there's Apocalypse. There's Mr. Sinister. They're all
I always liked him.
They're basically-
I'm a Sinister fan.
Yeah.
all kowtowing to Doom, and then there's Peter David's Hulk.
Maestro.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a little unclear about that character. It's the Hulk in the future, Bruce Banner in the future,
Yes, intelligent wall Hulk.
but somehow he went evil.
I guess. Yeah, I have not.
Just
read
ask
that.
Derek.
I'm pretty sure this is not because she's redheaded. I'm pretty sure that's Madeline Pryor.
Is that Madeline Pryor? Okay,
I think so.
You know what? That probably is.
Jean
Yeah,
Grey,
I'm probably
Madeline
wrong.
Pryor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ileana's blonde.
Well,
so
she'd
what
be
am I
blonde. And
thinking?
she
Yeah.
during Inferno, she had the goat's legs. She had transformed into like the goat leg person.
Yeah, you know more than me, so that's nice. So I just enjoy their interaction with Doom because Doom is just so like flippant with how little he respects them, and Mr. Sinister is my second favorite character in this book, behind Miles, where he's just like, well, that didn't go as planned. While he's like drinking like I don't know, like a mojito or something.
It's like,
Yeah.
But
It's
that's
just-
none of my business.
Right. Now this is what I need you to explain to me. What is up with this version of Carol Danvers? What
This
the
is the
fuck?
Sinister. Do you remember there was the uncanny? Was it Kieran Gillen's run? I think where there's all the Sinisters. There's like a Sinister village almost under the
I
earth.
must have never read that.
There's like under the earth where there's all these Sinisters, and Mr. Sinister sort of created them as a corollary to him, like an outreach of him, extension of him, as it were. And I'm assuming like this is from that.
Okay.
And this is one of hers, and she is freaky as fuck with
Yeah,
these
that-
eyes.
that freaked me out.
Holy shit, these eyes.
At first,
Like,
I thought it was the
you
real
gonna fuck,
Carol.
You gonna fuck this lady?
I thought
don't
it was
know.
like the lifeboat Carol. But then when
No.
it got down to the bottom page, I'm like, what?
Oh,
Who the
yeah.
fuck is this character?
Yeah,
She
she's got
means
the
The thing on her head.
She's got the
At
sinister
first, I
diamond.
thought that weird helmet that she wears now maybe like contracted into like one tiny little thing on her head. But then I was like, no, because Sinister has the diamond on his forehead, so obviously, yeah.
Now the cool thing here is, from the very beginning of New Avengers, Namor and Black Panther have been at each other's throats for very good
Good
reasons,
reasons.
especially Black Panther, and they reunite,
Yeah.
and it kind of feels good.
It was awesome.
Um,
That scene was incredible.
they meet with a deceased Doctor Strange. It's sort of an automatic run of, like, they're his only hope, as it were.
Automated message.
Yeah, and he explains everything to them.
Yep.
And then we have the explanation of what happened with the Fantastic Four. The stuff that we implicitly thought we knew, but didn't know. Of Johnny Storm is the sun. The Thing is the wall. He's the
Yep.
shield.
Yep.
And in Siege number 4, we learn that he's the shield. But at the end, Thanos here is talking to Ben Grimm and convinces him that you should stand up. And holy shit, is stuff going to go down now.
Yep.
Because he is upset with Doctor Doom.
How big is he?
Huge.
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 They had a big, beautiful wall, but no, it's no longer.
Nope.
So all the zombies can get in.
Yeah. Ultrons, everything.
Ben Grimm
It's
to
all
me
going to shit.
is like the heart and soul of the Marvel universe, and
Oh,
to
yeah.
see him in that triumphant moment, that was incredible. This has been my favorite issue, and the scene where
You're all choked up.
well, I am literally when Valeria tells the Spider-Man, "You go down those steps. You go under the trapdoor under the
Yeah.
statue. I'm a girl." She's like, "I'm not emotionally equipped. Intellectually, maybe I'm not emotionally equipped to deal with what you find." Because she knows it's all bullshit. She knows that Doom is lying through his teeth.
Her not telling her father and her backing her father and her backing up and letting them go in there
Yeah.
is her basically saying, yeah, this is all bullshit.
Right.
As you say, yeah.
And seeing Spidey as... Seeing Pete as almost like a protective
Of Miles.
uncle to Miles.
Yeah, like
that Spider-Man's a legacy character now, it gave me the chills. And I've never been an Ultimate Spider-Man. I've never read the Ultimate
really?
Universe.
Okay.
So to see that, I mean, and because I'm a big I'm a DC guy at heart, so like to see the legacy aspect of Spider-Man, I thought that fucking rocked.
Well, and it was awesome to see Spider-Man grow up
yeah,
and still be goofy,
yeah.
but still,
But in
obviously,
a
he's like
mentoring.
a 3-week-old cheeseburger.
Yes. I thought that was
Come
fantastic.
on.
Yeah.
You know, it's like because Miles is 16 or whatever, and Pete is probably 28, 27, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, 3-week-old cheeseburger.
This is a book where, all delays
If
aside,
it's a McDonald's cheeseburger, it's okay.
it's so good when
That's
it comes out that I don't mind. I don't mind it. I don't mind the delay.
Unless you're reading the other books.
And think of how it's going to read in trade one day.
And that's
Yeah.
where I'm at. That's what my
Yes.
decision was, to read it.
That
as
happened
trade
with Civil War.
because I knew this would happen.
Right.
I knew this would happen, so I'm like, I'm just gonna read it as a trade
Mhm.
because if how long it was between 5 and 6, I would have been like, nah, I gotta go back and read 5.
Right.
Nah, I gotta read 6, and I just like, I'd rather just read it all in one shot.
I've read them all through 3 times, so yeah.
Yeah.
3-week-old cheeseburger.
I mean, it's like an
Really?
Archie horror book.
But
Oh, no, this
whoa. It's not that bad.
Not that bad. No.
Okay. So yeah, it's not quite Damon, but
Mm,
yeah.
mm.
As you can tell, I'm used to delays with
Yeah.
the half mic pull list. So
Right.
why don't we go to something that was not delayed that I did not hear of?
What
but
you got?
Kyle has.
I
good
have Blood
opinions
Feud
on.
#1.
Oh, yeah.
It's an Oni Press book,
Oni Press.
I'm real pissed at myself that I did not hear of this book.
and
Actually, we did speak about it.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, I'm pissed at myself. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Brian,
we spoke about it
Brian,
with
look
you
at the big
here.
Awesome spider on the cover.
Oh,
Where do you see
Kyle.
a spider?
Now, come on.
Oh.
Oh, that is nice.
But the insides didn't.
You mean the insides where there's spiders?
Oh, see, I just thought that was dirt.
I hate
And
this
there's
book.
and there's spiders.
Oh, well, let me tell you what we were going to do before he gets into it.
We ordered 2 copies of this book in. One for me, one for you.
That's why it showed up on my email. Yes.
We were going to take one of the Valiant books, take the cover off, attach it to this book, so that when you open it up, you just saw a big
You
giant
guys suck.
spider.
You're worse than Jeff. Oh my
Do you still
god.
have the other
Jeff
one? or no?
terrifies me.
It should be up there. It might be behind something, but yeah, unless we sold it.
I
'Cause
don't
I
know.
think we only got 2 or maybe 3 copies of this book in.
You guys
Okay.
suck.
One was for
I'll
me,
take a look
one was
later
for the
then.
joke,
Yeah.
and we might have had another John. John got it.
John Coates.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
remember I wasn't saying his last
Oh.
name. Badly.
So
That was Lee, not me, John.
this cover is really cool. It makes it seem like it's super horror, but
Yeah.
funny. But you said it's more just horror.
It's more just horror.
Okay.
And then you have like the zombie frog, and you have the spider. And then the other thing I like is there's the main cover, but then on the back there's an alternate cover that's a mock-up of a movie poster.
Wow.
Friday the
And
13th.
really cool.
Friday the 13th.
Very
Cool.
nice.
The next one, which I'll is Evil Dead.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, check out Evil Dead. But I want to show you the last page because the last page is awesome.
It's not a spider, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Blood Feud. It's written by our buddy Cullen Bunn.
Cullen Bunn. So prolific.
Yep. It's written by artist I believe is Drew Moss, and then Nick Filardi. You said that's the colorist.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, colored by Nick Filardi. So basically, this takes place in Spider Creek.
Mm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
name of the place.
I
Yeah,
hate this fucking book.
It's,
I should mention while Kyle's looking it up, Drew Moss did the dinosaur book
Spider Creek. Yes,
with Colin Bunn. Yeah. So
And did he draw moss?
No. He draws a really cool T-Rex though.
So we start with the narrator talking about. He's like, I got a story to tell about how me and a couple of my buddies squared off against the very legions of hell, and maybe even saved the world. So basically, this guy, he grew up. The town's called Spider Creek. It's a very small town,
Full of spiders.
Yeah, middle of nowhere, America, and he's like the story he's talking about is like, I've always been partial to happy ending. Is like,
Aren't we all?
as for how it ends, you'll have to be the judge. But I've always been one for happy endings. But I reckon that just ain't the way of the world.
No.
The story's got vampires too, loads of them, but not the beginning. And it began for us with spiders. And what happened?
I hate you, Kyle.
The reason that
reminiscing.
this book, the reason that the town is called Spider Creek is every year there's a mass like tarantula migration that goes through. That goes through. Would you like to see some artwork, Brian? You don't really, other than the cover and like, you don't really see spiders.
No, you're right.
You'll note that my glasses are on top of my head, so I can't see a goddamn thing.
And this is the
Right,
reason why
right,
it's not in your pool.
Seriously, if I didn't tell you that was spiders, would you know it was spiders?
No, he would not.
For
Seriously.
the people,
No,
Exactly.
you're right.
Right, this is
Okay.
why it's not-
Yes, all right,
it's
indistinct,
not-
vague.
Yeah,
all right.
it's the reason why it's not in your pool.
Up
Yeah.
here, you would know it's spiders, but you'd be happy because there's a truck running them over.
Nice.
Like you're fine.
Yeah.
So we get to RF and what the hell? I read this really quickly. I can't remember his name.
no
Cecil.
worries.
RF and Cecil.
Cecil.
And they're driving down the road, and Cecil's talking about how he's like, it was a bad omen. I saw a blue jay on a Friday. That's the day the Blue Jays go down to hell to get their orders from Satan.
Oh,
So like
jeez.
it's that kind of backwoodsy.
Wow.
And he's like, you know, you never see a blue jay on a Friday, and he's like, yeah, whatever. And as they're driving, they're just like running over spiders because this just happens.
That's a good thing
It's
to
the
do.
spider migration.
Run them over.
And as they're talking, this woman is out in the middle of the road with her hands up, and Cecil yells, "Look out!" And they slam to a stop. And she's like, you know, sorry, we didn't see it. And he's like, don't you understand? The tarantula migration's coming through here. You could kill them. You're gonna plow right over them. He's like, lived here all my life. Spiders ain't nothing new. It's like, well, if you're that accustomed to spiders, you'd be a little more careful. And you find out that she is from, like, her name's Sue. She studies the spiders, and she's actually like from the local university type thing. And like she's going back over to her truck, and she bends over to do something, and Cecil's like, yeah. That I think we can agree is a damn fine omen. The one that really fills out those genes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's like, Jesus, Cecil, have some manners. So we find out that he had aspirations to leave the town. He was a high school football star, but he hurt his knee, so he couldn't make it out. Hey, Coach Boss.
Nice. And this is another.
Was that a Southern
tale.
Bastard
Yeah,
reference?
Yeah,
Okay.
Southern Bastards
Yeah, right.
reference. But he's like he's happy that he stayed because had he left after the knee injury, the city would have just shoot him up and spit him out, as he says. So
As cities are wont to do.
Yes, true.
yeah, it was like fishing's good. Like he's just going on like how he's happy he stayed in the town, and they're unloading something out of the back of their truck, and this is when he starts talking. He's like, may not be heaven on earth, about as close as one can get these days, except for the Whately clan. And you see these very mountain, like, you know, yeah, your mountain people looking. The one's got like a little thing growing out of his head.
That's hot.
And you learn that between
Clampets without the oil money.
kind of.
Yeah, right.
What is it? So it's like you want to stay with, like they got the witch's touch is what he's like. My granddaddy told me they got the witch's touch. So it's more like you stay away from the Whateleys. You don't want them. You don't want to get their attention, basically. So as they're talking to the shop owner about this something they got off one of the local people that they're selling to this guy, a fisherman comes walking through, and he's got like a bucket full of frogs. And Cecil walks over and is like, hey, what you got in the bucket? Wouldn't have to be a mess of frogs, because I guess Cecil likes to eat frogs, according to this book. And you look in, and it's all these dead frogs, but they're moving around. Like, you can see, like, there's, like they've been gutted.
While still dead.
But they're still moving around, so there's, like, zombie frogs. So something's up.
So maybe it's like a chicken that
What
has
is
his head
happening?
cut off.
No, these things are definitely... And, like, the guy, like, drops the bucket, and the frogs are hopping around, croaking, like as they're dead. Like, you see, like, they're cut, and they're dead.
Jesus.
And then you get a nice
gotta
little
read
picture of,
this
like,
book.
of the Whateleys, where he's like...
I'm like repulsed. You're turned on. Like
He's like, those frogs were deader than my Aunt Mammy, but they were wriggling and squirming and hopping like they were back in the mud.
Yeah. Well, I read Harrow County and
Yeah, you like all that, I know.
Yeah.
So then they're back at their house and they're playing card, RF, Cecil, and they're playing cards with their buddy Jack, and like Jack's like, yeah, whatever, and he's like, no, you should have seen it. It was like something out of the science fiction pictures you love. And there's two dogs out on the porch and they just start barking. It's like, what are they doing? And they hear somebody yelling, "Somebody help me! Is there anybody there?" And they run out and it's the woman. It's the woman. It's Sue from like out there. The dogs like kind of have her cornered because they don't know her, so they're basically they're hounds. She's like, don't mind the dogs. What's going on? She's like, I found somebody. There's a man. He's hurt in the woods. Can you come help? So they go out and they see this guy and he is just. He's
ripped
not
apart.
Yeah, he's like torn apart. Like he's got some damage.
The color work's very moody, by the way.
It is.
Yeah.
I know Lee loves color work. So.
And they say it's Seth Stubbs. Now, as you find out in the book, the Stubbs and the Whateleys have been feuding for generations.
Hatfields and McCoys.
Basically, the families just do not like each other. Like nobody knows why it started. It could have been over a woman or over some livestock. Like it could have been anything. But the two families just do not like each other.
Okay.
Like the Stubbs are born hating the Whateleys, that kind of thing.
Reminds me of Men of Wrath.
That's what I said. It's a feud. It's a blood feud.
Does he write that as well?
No, that was
that's
Jason
Jason
Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah.
So they go to like
Another Southern dude.
they go to help him. He's like,
Taking over.
they're like, don't touch me. He's like, don't touch me. Ain't no help for me. All of them. Every last one is killed. So something's happened. And he's like, so they get him. They get him. They're helping him back to the house, and they're like, all right, well, we got. He's like, I couldn't get away, and they're like, we gotta go check out. We gotta go see what's happening over at their farm. Like something's happened. And this is where they get into the whole actual feud between the Whateleys and the Stubbs. So, and the woman's like, I can't get a signal. It's like, you're in the middle of nowhere. The only place you're gonna get a signal, RF are gonna go to the farm. So they go and they see this bull is trapped in like an electrified fence. And basically the bull tried to get out of the pen. Like it was something spooked it so bad it tried to hop this electric fence and got caught part way. Ooh. So they decided like this animal's in pain. They need to free this animal. And like, but he's gonna rush right at us when we free him. So Jack gets a hold of his horns. He's like, when I give you the signal, break the line.
Is he a bull rider?
He's not a bull rider, but he even says like. Big Jack Seaver's the strongest man I ever met, and he actually like kind of holds the bull at bay for a little bit, but it ends overpowered. He just turns it and like flips it basically
into the ground. Into
the ground.
And I've seen that before actually. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
And it gets up and it's staring him down, and all of a sudden something spooks it and it goes running. It goes running away from him. He's like, what the hell could have spooked it? It's like whatever it was is the same thing that would have made it to jump the fence. So they get to the house. He's like, where the hell is everyone? It's like, no sooner I asked, I saw something move in the darkness. Pale figures slink toward us. Children. The Stubbs children had come out to greet us.
Oh. What the fuck?
Like vampire type thing.
Oh.
And that's where the first issue ends. This thing, we got it. We were gonna get it for you as a joke. The one customer told us about it. Like, oh, there's spiders. Like, as soon as he said spiders, both of us were like, eh?
Yeah. Right.
Because we're dicks.
What made you decide not to go through with it?
That was my fault.
Lee didn't see the spider on the cover, and he looked.
Actually, it was the interiors.
It just looked like dirt.
Wasn't visual enough. I guess.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I didn't see spiders.
It wasn't horrifying enough.
So I was like, oh. I don't want to waste the book if it's not going to do anything against them.
Is this an ongoing or a mini? Or
now, mind you, if there was big fucking tarantulas,
sure it would have found
that
its
bitch
way
would have been in
into
there.
my folder.
Oh
yeah.
Your Unity book?
I couldn't imagine this is an ongoing. But I would expect this is a miniseries, but I don't remember when I added it if it had a little miniseries.
Yeah. It's funny. I think Cullen Bunn and Brian O'Malley are like the only two people that still do Oni Press. but they let them do whatever the hell they want to do.
What about
so
that?
It's awesome.
Letter 44. Was that?
Oh, that's Charles Soule. Yeah,
Charles
that's
Soule. Is that still?
It's about halfway through.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty good. It stalled halfway through. You know what I mean? Like it stalled and picked back up again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very
I've never read
You
that.
said Drew Moss did that dinosaur thing too.
Yeah, I can't think of what that's called.
But
It was like a kid-friendly book.
like whatever else he did, I don't know, but I actually really liked the artwork in this.
Mhm.
You said the color work was great too, Nick Filardi. And it matches to, like when it's at night, you get that like
Yeah,
blood,
that hue.
that blood red hue of
Mhm.
like almost like a blood moon type thing.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
especially
it's,
it's an eerie book. You know.
yeah. And then when you get that reveal at the end of what the Stubbs clan looks like,
They're
that
like
it is.
And they
inbred
he focuses
vampire
in on what,
children.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, Madon. I mean, jeez.
But yeah, I picked it up again. The guy who initially told us about it, I'm like, he really sold me on it. I'm like, plus it's
Jack Bauer.
Yeah, Jack Bauer. Plus it really got me interested in. Plus Cullen Bunn didn't hurt. So
Yeah, right. Sure.
So, yeah. But again, so you have another Southern horror book being written by Cullen Bunn. You have this, and you have Harrow County.
Right.
But yeah,
Cool.
it was really good.
My last book is Ninja K number 8. We have Matt Kint. Oh, and I wanted to say
I
something
did
too.
not pick this one up, so
It's a good one. I wanted to say Joshua Dysart. You know how Coiny every week tweets about what the books that we review?
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Dysart, because I was, of course, gushing over and over about Imperium,
yeah.
which is like my favorite book.
he's such a good writer.
Yeah. He responded and he said, "You guys are awesome." So that just absolutely made my day when I saw that tweet.
You had
I think
a
it's like
girly
my
crush?
favorite tweet of all time. Yeah. And I don't know how much of the podcast he listened to, but just
Does it really matter?
No, it did. You know what? It doesn't.
As long as he listened to your voice.
Yes. And he said, "You guys are awesome." Like that made my fucking day. It really did.
Yeah, well, I mean, he literally puts everything into just one book.
Yeah.
So you gotta admire that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff.
I feel the same way whenever the Humans guys retweet me.
Oh, right.
Every
Yeah.
time I review them, I get
Yeah.
that. Both of them, I get that retweet and the favorite. I'm like,
That's
yes.
awesome. That's awesome.
Jonathan Hickman never retweets.
He's a busy guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know what? Don't retweet. Please just write.
He has one saved. It's just he writes a word every 3 weeks.
It's a draft.
I love all
It's a
your
draft.
work. I love all your work.
Yeah.
Ninja K.
Ninja K number 8. We're still in the Shadow Wars arc, and what has happened is that unfortunately Ninja K has gone rogue, and he has made this personal. And even though MI6 wants him to come in and abandon this mission, essentially what has happened is they've realized that one of these guys that works for Weaponeer has a bomb attached to them, and if they're killed, it's going to detonate, and it's like a nuclear bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the way this issue starts is that Neville, who is Ninja K's boss at MI6, he is getting his ass chewed out by his boss. And he's like, "You have no control over your agent. You got to bring him in. You got to, draw an end to this mission." And Neville's basically trying to make excuses for him. So that's how the issue begins. He's like a Lex Luthor looking
And
dude.
We should say that I don't know.
It's funny, all your references keep going back to DC.
I'm a DC guy at heart. I'll admit
Yeah.
that. I'll
Just-
admit that.
They've cast him off for a little bit for now, but
Who's that?
DC except for Justice League.
Oh, right.
Justice League and Midnighter and Grayson, I think.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Batman and Robin Eternal.
Oh yeah, now there you go.
Yeah.
So look at that, 4 books. That's not bad at all.
And Titans Hunt.
Okay, see, that's not bad at all then.
Yeah. No, wait. You're talking about Grayson, right? And you're talking about Luthor.
No, we're just talking about DC.
Oh, you're talking about DC. in
You being a
general. Okay.
DC at heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at
Okay,
heart.
gotcha.
But I'm gonna say the art on this book is good, and
Very good.
it's.
Did I
don't know.
even mention it's Steven Segovia?
The cover wasn't so good.
It seems like
Oh, I
they're-
like it.
I don't, it seems fine to me. I don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
There's
everyone
not
different
quite
taste.
a house art style here, but
No.
it's close.
Yes, and the backup I wanted to mention is by Juan Jose Rip, who is drawing the Legends of the Geomancer,
He-
and it is fabulous.
He puts Jim Lee to shame with how many
Ah.
lines he does.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe that. But
Yeah.
not
Definitely.
not the
No, no,
actual art.
I'm saying with how many lines he does. It's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
with how many lines he does.
Okay.
A lot of coke.
The main story.
Know his secret now.
This is so. What is
That's how
happening
he's timely.
with this arc? Every issue he takes out another member of Weaponeer, and so this is about Fitz. Now, talking about how the whole Valiant universe ties in together and is so cohesive.
Killed her already.
The fall
She's
of
stuck
Ninja.
on another world.
You remember Japan is taken over by an army, and
Yeah.
Tokyo's taken over. It was Fitzy's, and at the time it didn't make any sense. Well, here's Fitzy. Now we're meeting him
Okay.
meeting him in present time.
You're catching me up with this, so yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly am behind like 2 issues. So
Well, catch up, motherfucker.
nice.
Fitzy. What happens is, okay, we all know Dr. Silk. He's been around in the
Yeah.
Valiant universe for a while now,
Mhm.
and he's like a sicko, and he's into like genetic experiments and crazy stuff.
He's almost like Mr. Sinister.
like
That's
Mr.
okay,
Yeah, you
yeah.
could say he's the Mr. Sinister of the Valiant universe.
Every time you say Fitzy, I get this like frat boy picture in my head.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's Fitz.
Oh, my dude.
Fitzy, Bones.
It's
Oh, t-shirt time, dude.
it's Fitz, but for some reason they call him Fitzy, but like that's his nickname. Dr. Silk had a bodyguard named Fitz, who he loved, not loved in a sexual way, but really, really
Plutonic.
Yes.
Like the two old men, the grumpy old men.
It was like a bromance.
Like Batman loves dick.
Yes, exactly right.
No.
Um,
More like the grumpy old men.
Mr. Grayson.
he found him so valuable
No. Mr. Grayson's my father.
that he started cloning him. He created an army of Fitzies. And when they come
I don't
out
like
of the
that.
chamber, they instantly have, it's like a hive mind, they instantly have all the acquired knowledge of all the other Fitzies who have pre-existed them. Until this Fitzy comes along. This Fitzy is different. Something went wrong with the cloning experiment. He has free will. And he decides that Silk is a sicko and he wants no part of his organization. So he basically takes it upon himself to break away. And he escapes from the compound, whatever you want to call it. And
I got stories about a compound.
I'll bet you do.
Oh, I do.
This is a smart storyline. I like this a lot.
Yeah. He travels the world. Did you read this issue?
No,
Oh.
remember, I did not.
Oh,
But
that's
no,
right.
I think it's a smart storyline. I will have to read this.
Yes, you will. He travels the world, and because of the collective knowledge that he gets from the hive mind of his clone brothers, he already knows how to speak every foreign language. He already knows his way around every foreign country. So he eventually finds his way to this mythical Buddhist monk. Now, this is what I don't understand, and it frustrates me as like I consider myself kind of an expert on the Valiant universe. There's the bleeding monk
And the Eternal One.
and the eternal monk.
Yeah.
And they never come out and equate the two and say that they're the same. This monk is not bleeding. So
I get the sense that they're two distinct people.
two different he's called this one is called the
Or like,
undead
I don't
monk.
say people. Well, I guess they're people, but also entities, right?
Right. And I think
Yeah.
it's two separate entities.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
But this one also appears to be like a psy. If he's not a psyot, at least he has some
I'm pretty
sort
sure
of
we know way more about the Bleeding Monk, though.
Yes.
Like-
yes.
I don't know what else the Eternal Monk's been in. Like the... no, he's not been in Archer Armstrong, right?
He
No.
was revealed earlier in Ninja K because
Okay,
Ninja
yeah.
K studied at this temple.
Okay.
I don't know that
That
we've
might
met
be
him
it.
outside of this book.
Yeah, so... Bleeding Monk, he had his own number 0 or number 1.
He's a big part of the Harbinger
Yeah.
universe and began communicating with Harada.
And he was in that amazing story we read last week, so yeah.
Yes. So anyway, he goes there and he doesn't need to learn any physical fighting from the monk. He already collectively has that from the hive mind. But he sits for more than a year in front of this monk and telepathically he teaches him like everything he needs to know. So after he leaves the monastery after like a year, he meets Cannon, who was the guy who founded the Weaponeer organization. And he realizes that Cannon is basically perverting the teachings of the undead monk. So what he decides to do, Fitzy, is he decides to infiltrate this organization and take it down from the inside. So he's almost like a traitor.
Yeah.
He's like a plant.
It's almost like a reverse Archer. Like where Archer was grown up.
Yes.
Or I guess, Yeah, well, growing up through a corrupt
And eventually
organization,
broke
and then-
away.
Yeah, he's the exact opposite.
Exactly
He's trying
right.
yeah, that's cool.
That's a very good way of putting it.
Quinny wants to know if he wonders if we'll ever see the monks. See if the monks are connected in some way.
Yeah, and I'm wondering that
That'd
as
be
well.
nice.
I'm wondering that as well. Absolutely. The bleeding monk and the undead monk have to be connected somehow. You know? And he's in
Maybe
this...
they'll be all their own little.
Maybe. There you go.
Be another
Very
little
nice.
full part
Should,
mini.
should we mention?
Yeah.
It was recently announced that A+A is going to be relaunched. Like Archer and Armstrong is going to be A+A.
Yes, I
But
think
it's
in
not
March.
Fred Van Letzy. It's
Oh, it's...
I couldn't think of the name of the person.
It's a relative newcomer, isn't it?
Yeah, he was an artist who is now going to be a writer.
Yeah.
But you know what? I trust Valiant.
So do I.
Like
So do I.
I don't.
And the artist, I forget who the artist was, but I love the artist, so I'm in.
Yeah.
regardless.
I can't remember who it was, but the only miss I can think is Dead Drop. I was not a fan of Dead Drop. I think you liked it, but
You didn't like Dead Drop?
no.
I didn't like that drop.
I like Dead
Death
Drop.
Defying Dr. Mirage, wasn't it?
You didn't like that? I enjoyed that. That was like
I
more,
didn't really. I just know that.
that was
wasn't
almost like a
necessarily
romance book to me.
I need to borrow Punk Mambo sometime. I
Punk
can't find
Mambo?
that anywhere.
What the hell is that?
It's a one-shot about a Shadow Man character, and I
I
can't
bought
find
that.
it.
I should have
she's,
it. Okay,
And
see if
she's
you still
gonna
have
be in the Ninjak with the Shadow Man stuff. So
Yeah, that they keep
Yeah.
advertising on the back of all that.
Isn't she's the one they introduced her in Book of Death too?
Yes, she's in
In
Book
the
of Death
third
as well.
like toward the end of the third one, they go and get her.
That's right.
'Cause they're gonna
She
need her.
was part of the original Shadow Man run. Yeah, early on, and
Well-
then they did a one-shot.
Why don't we talk that off air? and-
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens is, so Fitzy he decides first of all before he commits himself 100% to taking down Weaponeer, he wants to go back and take out Dr. Silk because Dr. Silk sickens him. So he goes back to the house in San Francisco and he basically destroys the entire Fitzy army. He kills them all, but he can't find Dr. Silk. So he puts ammunition, explosives in the house, and boom! He blows up Dr. Silk's compound, whatever you want to call it. Then he goes back and becomes part of Weaponeer. But what he does is, whenever Weaponeer sells weapons to anybody, an army, a private contractor, whatever, he then covertly goes back and basically wipes out whoever the buyer was. So he's taking out all
Yikes.
these people before they can use these weapons. But then he starts to notice that the weapons are backfiring. And that brings us back to Ninja K, and that's what he's been doing since he basically wiped out Quanon, whatever his name is, and took over Weaponeer. He's been selling defective weapons. So he
he's
realized...
almost like unnecessarily destroying the stuff. It seems like. Or...
Well, he's wiping out the buyers. He's not necessarily
I get
taking
it.
out the
Okay,
weapons.
I get it.
Whereas
Yeah.
Ninja K, since he took
I
over,
misunderstood that. Yeah.
he's okay. So this whole story's been told like and narrated by Fitzy in flashback, and you're wondering who the fuck is he talking to? Well, then it comes full circle to the present, and you have Ninja K and Fitzy,
Oh.
and
Powwow.
yeah. And they don't even show. What I thought was really cool is they had a knockdown, drag out fight. You don't even see that. That all occurs off panel, outside of the story.
Yeah, look at Ninja K's hair.
Yeah, he's fucked up, and Fitzy's clothing is all torn, and basically, Ninja K is saying to him, "Listen, we could really use somebody like you at MI6," and he's like, "No," he's like, "You guys aren't willing to kill," and Ninja K says to him, "Listen, there are some enemies, some bad guys, who are better off alive because of the information that we can get out of them." He's like, some things are gray, and Fitzy's like, no, there is only black and there is white.
Punisher.
That's it.
Punisher level stuff.
Exactly. Then you find out that in the very beginning of the conversation off panel, before we saw them, Ninja K basically stuck a dart in his neck and has poisoned him. And he's really impressed by how long it took he said normally for most guys it takes like 6 minutes. They've been sitting there talking for 45 minutes, and now finally the poison is kicking in and he falls over. And what's so cool is his ship then shows up and he gets on board and there's Neville. And you actually see a look of surprise on Ninja K's eyes, and Neville's like, hey, he's like, you're not the only super secret spy here. So that's when he tells him, listen, we figured out who the bomb is attached to. Your next target is a guy named Faker, F-A-K-I-R, Fakir, and they're off in Vegas. So now they're off to Las Vegas, and that's going to be the next issue. The backup story, which I'll quickly skim, which is beautifully drawn by Juan Jose Reap, is
I mean,
about
just
it's
the amount of-
amazing the detail. Yeah,
It's just
it's about his battle and his, so to speak, graduation from the secret monastery under the tutelage of the undead monk. And when he gets beaten almost to death, he's lying there for days in the shadow of the building, and he gains 100% mastery over his circulatory system, his nervous system, everything. And it's something that he learned from this, like, almost telepathic communication. So I think the undead monk is also a psyop.
oh wow.
And so that's... Oh, and then it ends with him having to face off against this bald female. She says, the valley soil is full of those who have tried to kill me, so we don't yet know who she is. But he basically has to now face off against her before he can quote-unquote graduate.
Whoa.
Yeah. So next is Faker. Look at the... what is his name?
Dave Johnson.
God. I love him.
Yeah.
I want a book. I want like a hardcover, like bookshelf book of just his covers for Valiant.
Wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
He does a lot of DC covers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and Palmiotti are like they work
Oh,
together.
really?
They work together a lot on Palmiotti's
Kickstarter
creator-owned
and
stuff. Yeah. There's always like a Dave Johnson cover or Dave Johnson art or something.
Okay.
Just something about him. He doesn't do a bad book.
I am relaying some
From Coinage.
insights from Coinage. For reading my comments, it gives me a voice in the episode. He thanked me, and that's I asked him why. Whatever.
We love you, Coinage.
Except when
Yeah.
you make shit up.
I don't.
Yeah, right.
I may
Except for when you outright
embellish
lie.
a little
Salute.
to make good story. Okay, so you guys would be much like boring TV writers. I, on the other hand, I have a future in TV
we're
writing.
We're TV writers. He's a reality asshole.
That's right. Unscripted.
I just want
Unscripted television.
I
yeah.
have high ratings. You guys are getting canceled like Constantine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Anyway.
a great show.
Well,
The second half was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Dead Drop was good. I agree with Chris. A and A.
Wait, Dead
He
Drop
meant.
was.
Yeah, he meant me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. He said Dead Drop was good. I agree with Chris.
No, I thought
Chris
it
didn't
sucked.
like it.
I agree. Chris and I both said it was not very good.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
there you go. Okay.
But he is saying Dead Drop was good. I agree with Chris.
He meant.
I don't understand what he's saying. He's confused.
What didn't you like about Dead Drop?
I didn't like the artwork.
It just seemed like a lot of
Oh.
action with nothing really behind it. I don't
Okay.
know.
All right.
Didn't seem like there was something that I was supposed to reach for
Okay.
as a reader. I
All
don't
right.
know.
And then he proceeds to say A
The
and
only guy
A.
thing I didn't like.
Wow.
Archer and Armstrong #1 will be written by Rafir Roberts with art by David LaFuente.
Oh, love him.
Ultimate Spider-Man New Mutants.
Rafer Roberts. Yeah.
My mistake.
Wow.
Sorry, I meant Brian. He's a little behind. He's a
That's
little.
all right.
He's a little slow.
Fine. Well, so is our newsfeed.
No, he's slow. Our newsfeed's not slow.
My stars.
All right.
Can't we all just get along?
He was
So-
always slow when he was here to begin with.
Oh, you are so
Oh.
bad. You are so bad.
We are dragging without coin-operated Chris, but
I know, it's 'cause I gotta
try to-
read.
Why don't I try to wrap this up?
Okay.
Okay.
You can always email us with any questions,
Comments,
answers, comments,
concerns.
anything we do. No concerns. Fuck you. Saturday Morning Comics Podcast at gmail.com, or you can tweet us at Huge Shiny Mistake, at One Up Collectibles, at BWadeFox4,
B-Way Fox 1.
BWadeFox1, or at Kyle Island 1,
At 3 Kyle.
at
number
3
three
Kyle Island.
You're a crappy coiny.
Oh, man. He doesn't try to do.
And he also cut me off before I could do my last book.
He doesn't.
Oh!
I thought you said that.
I said if
was
we had time.
Oh. You know what? We have lots of time. I cannot say the time. I'm sorry. So, you know what? I am the worst coin-operated Chris. There is no other than coin-operated Chris.
It was a valiant effort.
Yeah.
But
But
Please, Starfire. I feel so bad right now.
I must say, I do like this cover. It's very Baltimore Aquarium.
Let me see it.
Oh, you pay. All right.
Oh, look at that.
I'm going to talk about Starfire number 5.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
Coin-
we may not have
if-
enough
if
time.
Bad Coiny lets me.
Bad coin will allow it.
Alright, Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, and Emanuela Lupacino? Yeah, I got that right.
I love her. Yeah.
Yeah, again,
That's a dude.
another book where the artwork, awesome. Hi-Fi on the
Yeah,
covers.
she's a good artist.
Ray McCarthy did the inks, don't forget Ray McCarthy. And this nice Amanda Connor SeaWorld cover. So, at the end of issue 4, the main kind of like bad guy that we meet in the issue, he is at the same bar as Corey, and actually they get offers to buy her a drink type thing. Yeah. So they're talking back and forth, and again we have a little bit more of the like she doesn't
Naive,
where she doesn't
Yeah.
know like a lot of the Earth slang and things like that. So like he calls her like what are you, some kind of angel? Like, oh no, I am not, and it's very Starfire. And she's like, are you pulling my leg? I am not. If I were, you would feel it. That kind of stuff. So like she tells him that she's an alien. And
yeah,
things like
she's
that.
been here for like 2.5 years though, right? I mean, with Red Hood, but
theoretically, but it's one of those that we don't know what like with DC where they're saying
what she learned,
kind of throw
or whatever,
continuity. Yeah. Just throw that, throw all that right out the window.
Yeah.
So she like they just go back and forth, and she actually touches his hand. Soren is his name. She touches his hand, and all of a sudden, like he has the ability to like mind, to basically basically mind control almost. Mm-hmm. Well, when she touches his hand, they link minds, and we actually get his backstory.
Oh.
And
that's interesting.
He
That's
is
very
Dr.
cool.
Soren Hook Johnson, and he's like specializes in like cancer, and in here he's dealing with like a child that has cancer, and like people go to him as kind of a last resort, but he's known as kind of a miracle worker. And what you find out is his power is he can actually like suck the illness out of someone and completely cure them.
Wow.
The problem, and he has, after he does this for this child, the kid, he's like, she's cured type of thing. He goes and he has this bottle of green liquid, and he injects him into his arm. And we find out that it's a serum that was designed to keep the disease at bay, because when he takes it, he kind of ends up with the disease, almost. So, based on him doing this, he has developed cancer.
Oh.
And it's one of those things where this guy that helps him out is like, it's getting to the point you can't keep doing this. You need to focus on you because you're gonna die. And he actually Soren goes into almost like a rage, goes into a rage, punches the guy, and beats him to death. Now Corey, because they're locked minds, sees all of this. Soren gets spooked and just kind of leaves. He's like, how did you... He's like, I gotta go. And just leaves. And right when he leaves, that's when Atlee shows up. Tara.
Oh.
So then we get to Atlee and Starfire at the pool, and they're talking, and like she's kind of telling Atlee what's going on, and he's like, that's kind of weird. It's just, well, like, so they have a little thing. Then we flash to the Tamaranian exosphere, and the bounty hunter, basically, that Blackfire had hired to go find Corey, gets stopped by these people, and they've actually kidnapped his wife and daughter. And they're like, you need to... We picked up insurance to make sure you had no choice. Like, you're gonna do this for us. And the bounty hunter just, like, launches a missile and blows up one of the ships. Like, we could have been on that ship. He's like, you hurt my family, I'll kill you. And, like,
Wow.
like, and he just like, wife, I'll see you soon, and just flies off. Then when early in the very first issue, we find like Corey has this like sack of gems, and there's some that the jeweler couldn't tell what they were, so she held on to them. And one of them starts like vibrating and making noise, and there's like little musical instruments around the noises that it's make, like musical notes around the nose, and Corey just starts like it starts glowing, and she starts talking to it, like thing. And we find it's there's some kind of like egg, and what hatches out is just this little ball of light that speaks in musical notes, and then just flies away. The one thing with this book, it does really like it jump, but as long as you've read like other issues, you get used to it, and it just ends up flowing. But as I understand, as I review it, it feels like I'm jumping. It really is the book doing these jumps.
Okay, because honestly, I was a little confused.
Yeah, it really the book really does do these jumps. So it's like, all right, there's them at the bar, jump to them in the pool, jump to the guy in outer space, jump to this thing hatching, jump to her getting ready for a job interview.
Harley's like that too, right?
Yeah.
Would you recommend this book to someone that does not know the character?
I would not.
I would.
Well, yes and no. If you're a big fan of,
If you're us, I don't recommend
it. If you're a
it.
big fan of like New 52 Starfire, I mean pre-New 52 Starfire,
right.
I wouldn't.
Non-Teen Titans.
Non-Teen Titans Starfire. If you are interested in the character, by all means pick it up. But if you're like, oh, what's this Starfire about? You're probably gonna get confused.
I'm not even confused. I just don't like her.
Yeah.
You don't like the fact that she's been here for years.
She's
but
dumb.
Seems like she's devolved.
Not,
I don't know.
Yeah, she's dumb.
And I'm just.
And I feel like it's like a Harley Quinn syndrome.
Yeah.
Comic book.
Yeah. So
I
feel.
It's the same writers, right?
So to put this in perspective, the way I feel about Harley Quinn's book is how you feel about this book.
Right, exactly.
Quite potentially.
Yeah, it's basically
She's dumb.
It
She
just
is
seems like-
dumb.
Well,
She's supposed to be like this warrior. I don't want to say warrior princess. She's supposed to be a warrior. She's supposed to be free-loving, spirited, and she's intelligent.
Yeah.
my crazy like
she's intelligent, but she like even in the New 52, she was very ignorant to Earth customs.
Yeah.
So it's
Not like this.
Not quite like this, but it was very. Like,
This is stupid college girl like freshman years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was
okay,
she on
Connor,
Teen
call me
Titans
out.
or not in New 52? I don't.
Excuse me?
She was not on the new 52 Teen
Okay.
Titans.
All right. So
She was with Red Hood and the Outlaws.
I can disregard all the previous stuff I've read then. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, so with the jumping around, we jump to her getting ready for a job interview because part of the thing with the cop letting her live at the place with her, she has to go get a job because she has to be able to pay rent. So she's like, Corey's like looking through the clothes, and the cop just hands her some clothes. Like, here, put this on.
House Diamond Cabaret. What?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a business suit.
I'll be a
and
regular.
She comes up with only one button at the bottom, and they're almost hanging out. And the cop's like, "What are you doing? You gotta."
Pop those bazooms together.
What is it with you
Pretty
and
much.
trying to release the hounds all the time? It's like she's like hounds, like Corey, your boobs. They have a certain power. They kind of make men stupid. It's like, how can I make them act smarter? Just cover them up. So she goes on the job interview. She's interviewing to work at an aquarium, and the guy that's there, she's like, look, I really like your enthusiasm and everything, but I have a couple other people that have applied that they all have experience, some sort of, they're all veterinary techs, like they all know what they're doing. You don't have any skills for this job. But she's like, but I'll take you on a tour just because, I like you. And so she's going around, they go to like the dolphin pen, and the one dolphin's acting like hasn't been eating or anything like that. So Corey's like, oh, I can take care of this. Give me a few minutes. Jumps in the water and is like, what the hell are you doing? She goes up to the dolphin, and like in this version, I don't remember if other versions, if she can learn a language by like she can learn a language,
Physical contact.
but physical like if she
Or
kisses
whatever,
it's almost instant.
Right.
Well, actually, in the past, it wasn't instant. It's instant no matter what. It's just as she said it in the Teen Titans way back when. It's the most enjoyable form.
Yeah, the most enjoyable form.
That's right. That's right.
So she kisses
I know.
the dolphin.
I was a Teen Titan fan. Come on.
81, 82. Yeah.
It's like she kisses the dolphin, and then talks to the dolphin.
She tongue it?
No, just put
Oh,
kiss on
no
the,
tongue.
Kiss on the bottle. And he's like, the guy, like the guy that runs the corner is like, stop! You're violating the laws of nature. So after, it's like you find that she talks to the dolphin. The dolphin's sad because when they brought her in to heal her, she got separated from her mate.
Oh.
And like that quick, like with Corey talk, like she's in a much better mood because Corey's like, oh, we'll find your mate type thing, and she like Corey's like, oh, I was able to talk with her, and like and the guy's like, whatever, like I don't believe you, but if what you said was true, you're hired, that kind of thing. Then in one of the earlier issues, like some people had invited her to like a tiki party. And so she goes to the tiki party, hangs out for a little bit, goes back to her house, and Soren is there waiting, and there's a guy laying there in a puddle of blood.
Oh.
So something's about to go down in the next issue. Again, like I've read all 5. The jumping around takes a little while to get used to. It's easier when you read it, but as you're trying to explain it, it makes you sound like you have kind of ADD. Because you're like, and then and this and this and then with this and this.
Right.
It makes me sound like I said, like I have ADD or like I'm crazy. But I'm enjoying this book. I think, like the way Lee just put it with that, I really think this is Harley Quinn 2.0. But
Except you don't have
because it's not my character,
Exactly.
I'm enjoying it. So I see where people would enjoy that.
Yeah.
But because it's my character, I don't. But since this isn't my character, I'm actually really enjoying this.
Okay.
So,
Okay. That's cool. It's a new perspective.
it's a new perspective. So like
yeah.
I've been harsh on Jimmy and Amanda for their way that for me for the way they're writing Harley Quinn. I get it now. Like
Yeah.
I get it more now. Still doesn't mean I like that,
Right.
but I like
Yeah.
this.
That's cool.
So
That's cool.
that's just my Harley.
Bro.
My Harley attachment is preventing me from liking that.
No, I understand that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The same with like you said. I'm sure if you pick this up, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Kind of like the point that I've reached with Wonder Woman.
So if you're interested in the character,
I like Wonder
read
Woman
it.
right now.
Did you read this week's issue?
No, I didn't.
I'm just upset that I'm not going to be here next week to bitch about it. It has become so
That's
brutal.
why you can bitch about it on remember 99.1.
Wait,
That's right.
Well, actually,
So-
I'm hoping that we'll
Can
actually
you
be
just
able to
say
get
I'm
it.
right? Or
Yeah, you're right.
okay.
It's the only book that I'm
Wait.
currently
Wait,
buying
wait,
that I'm
wait,
because I'm
say it
hate
again.
reading.
Sorry.
You were absolutely right. It's the entire issue this week is her getting beaten. It's Wonder Woman getting punched and kicked and beaten by either Aegeus or Donna Troy. It is the darkest, mean-spirited, most violent. Meredith Finch, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with this book? She doesn't get it. I gave her a wide berth. I gave her a long leash. I'm sick of
Not
your
longer
fucking
than
bullshit
me,
now.
yeah,
It doesn't need to be this violent. Wonder Woman needs to be positive and uplifting. She needs to be a role model.
Did you hear about the new book?
Yes, and I'm all in.
There you go.
I am all in for that
Okay,
book. Yeah,
so-
Meredith Finch, you need to go. I'm sorry, honey. You need to go. Done.
You're waiting for the trade on these?
Yeah.
Oh,
Look into
there I
Divine.
said my piece since I won't be here
Wiccan
next
Divine, this art
Jen
they've been
reads
doing,
them
they've
like
been,
the
they've been
month to date,
doing,
but I don't
they've been
care.
doing like guest artists, and I like the art, but there's times where it was really good, and then there's times where I'm like, what?
Okay.
Oh.
But I did want to know that this came out this week.
Okay,
It just
okay.
wasn't on my. I didn't have the passion
Yeah.
to read about it, to talk about it like I did the other ones.
Kieran Gillen intimidates me. He's one of those writers that a lot of times I feel like when I read his stuff, I'm
I
not
don't get
smart
it.
enough. I don't get it.
Yes.
I don't get it.
Right?
I don't get it.
Read
I
Darth
understood on
Brian, read Darth
well,
Vader.
Young Avengers.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
Darth Vader is good. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. That's
He's on
like
Darth
Kieran
Vader.
Gillen that I can
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
So
I
The
completely
Force is
forgot
strong
he
with
did
that
Young
one.
Avengers, and I was going
It
through. I
runs
saw a
strong in my
picture of
family.
him, and it was him and McKelvey did some of the run on that, and I was like, I think I need to go
Same
back
art,
and pick it
right?
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
need to go back and pick up some Young Avengers.
and they now have the entire run under one hardcover, I think. So yeah. Well, an actual real ending.
Does anybody else have anything to talk about real quick?
No, I won't be here next week. I'll be back
You
in 2
got
weeks,
it.
so we'll see you all then. I'll be celebrating Halloween up in Salem,
Salud.
my favorite place on earth.
Yes.
All right.
I went there. 2 years ago.
Did you
that
like
was
it?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great little town.
In October.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah, it was
Haunted
crazy.
Happenings.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Saturday morning comics podcast at gmail.com.
At BWadeFox1 on Twitter.
And One Up Collectibles.
At the number 3 Kyle Island.
At Huge Tiny Mistake. Thanks for listening.
Have a great week, everybody. And happy Halloween. Speaking of which, you have all your Halloween books in, right?
Yeah.
For the free
Somewhere.
Halloween giveaway?
Yeah, somewhere.
Are you doing that this weekend?
No, it'll be next weekend.
Oh, you're going to do it on Halloween Day.
Isn't that when it's supposed to be?
When-
No, because well, I shouldn't say no, but in previews, they advertise it as being this coming Saturday. The Halloween
Really?
Fest issues.
I thought it was next.
This coming Saturday.
I
which-
thought it was next, which is
Nobody
it's the
actually
30th,
goes
right?
trick-or-treating.
Next
It's supposed to be
Saturday
for
is the
kids.
31st.
Really?
Next Saturday is
Saturday is the
actually
30th.
Halloween Day.
For
Yeah.
kids, it should be 29th through 31st. So
Yeah.
It would make sense to not do it on
I'm
On
Halloween.
gonna put
Halloween,
this in my
right,
poll.
right. Yeah, and I need to add Batman and Robin to my poll.
Maybe that snuck by you because it was Oni.
maybe. You know what? Honestly, because they haven't had too much lately. That's why.
Yeah, 'cause, like I bet you if that was Image, you'd have been all over that.
Yeah, that's true.
The only reason I heard about it was because of the one customer. And I will on the spot. I keep referring to him as the customer, John.
Who didn't want his last name revealed, apparently.
Well, they told me we weren't talking about like torture and murder porn, so I think we're all right. It was just I mentioned him like Captain Torture Porn.